Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, start your hype engines. Much to discuss we have on this here Monday. Yes. I see you guys trying. I see you trying to gamble. You think Serpico don't see? I see you. I see you. Don't worry. We had it shut down. We had it shut down already. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Monday stream. Welcome to your Monday show. We've got a good bit to talk about today. Hope you guys had a good weekend, by the way. So we're going to be talking about leaks, spoilers. Now, normally I don't like to do this on the live streaming channel. I usually like to keep full-on leak discussions, full spoiler discussions to videos. But, you know, honestly, I felt like it was okay. I felt like it would be cool, it would be chill if we did one stream where we looked over the entirety of leaks, everything we know about every project that's going to be coming out for Marvel in the next year, everything we know. And one of the reasons I want to talk about this is because I think it's possible, and I'm curious as to what you guys think about this for sure. I think it's possible that depending on how long this strike goes, which, oh my God, it doesn't look good. But depending on how long this strike goes, a lot of this might change. A lot of this might change. And so it's actually kind of fun, and I think it'll be useful to sort of anchor ourselves here. Like, let's anchor ourselves here and now and figure out what's the status quo. What do we know? When it comes to the Fantastic Four, it's going to be hilarious because, like, we'll just go over, like, all the different scoops and leaks that have come out and how incorrect a lot of them appear to be. So we'll get into all of that, but I feel like that would be fun. Kind of anchor ourselves in the leaking situation and then try to figure out where it's going to go from there. Now, I also have two other things that I want to tease out for you guys. Number one, doing a big video today, should drop later today, all about Emma Corrin and her character in Deadpool 3. Okay? And wow, there's a lot to get into with that video because, well, frankly, it's pretty crazy. And actually, I'm pretty sure that we're going to do more Deadpool videos throughout the week because I'm pretty sure I know 100% who the actual main villain of the film is. I think I know what's going on in the movie. I also think I was lied to by a source because, frankly, the leaks were too accurate, and I think that some people wanted to put some misinformation out. And beyond even that, and this, I'm going to say very quickly, we're going to move right on because we're going to have to do this as low-key as possible. So tomorrow, we're going to have a Nerdvenger stream. Okay? We always have a Nerdvenger stream on Tuesday. It's a behind-the-scenes stream only for members. Well, I got to tell you, I want to tell you guys, tomorrow's Nerdvenger stream is going to be very unique. I am going to spill some tea and bring some receipts and show you some really interesting stuff about what's going on with all of these different leakers and Marvel. And I'm literally going to delete the stream after we have it, okay? Tea, receipts, really crazy drama and some really interesting stuff behind the scenes that I can't talk about publicly, but I can talk about it with you guys, and then I'll delete it. So it's tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on by for that if you are a Nerdvenger. I would set a goddamn alarm or some shit because I think you're gonna wanna know what's going on. Oh, and also I'm done scooping. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out of the game. I'm out of the game 100%. I will never scoop an original scoop ever again in my life. Never. It's connected. I'll explain it all tomorrow. I'll explain it all tomorrow. We're still going to talk about scoops. We're still going to talk about leaks. So I love this shit. But, it'll all make sense. It'll all make sense tomorrow. Okay, now, before we get into any of leakage stuff, there's a couple of things that I did want to talk about. I think the last time we were talking last week, the main thing on Friday's stream was all of the stuff with the Fantastic Four and how crazy the casting. And wait till you see later on in the stream when we go over that and just the craziness of, like, I believe John Campea said over a year ago that Sue and Reed had been cast, and just, it's so crazy. I want to talk about it, and I want to really break it down because I think it's really interesting how, like, this movie in particular, Fantastic Four, my God, bro, like, a lot of craziness and a lot of, like, oh, this is it? Oh, no, it's not that. And so we'll break that down later. But, interestingly, over the weekend, and some of you guys probably saw this, some of you guys didn't see this, but over the weekend, Grace Randolph had a really interesting tweet. I think it kind of flew under the radar. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Okay. Well, I don't know if you could say this flew under the radar, but I haven't seen too many people talk about it, so we'll talk about it right now. Check this out. So remember, last week after the Hot Mic podcast, which got Jeff Snyder into some hot water because he had slipped up a couple of times, and I actually think more than how do I explain this? I feel like the ramifications of last week's stream with Rocha and Snyder, I feel like the ramifications of that stream are not going to be fully understood for some time. But it was bigger than I think we thought. So you'll recall that during that stream, Snyder had said that he heard that Jack Quaid was going to be Johnny Storm. Now, interestingly, later on in the stream, he gets a text message while live and says, oh shit, source just told me it's not Jack Quaid. It's actually Joseph Quinn. Okay? Now, there's something else he said in that stream later on that really gave me pause, and I was like, I don't understand that. But what he said was, and he actually said this on Twitter too, he said JQ, the initials JQ. I thought they meant Jack Quaid, but they really meant Joseph Quinn. Now, does anybody know why it's so bizarre that he would make that mistake? I'm sure some of you do. Do you get it? 1 600 milligram edible gets me crazy. I can't even find 750. What? Okay. That's an acceptable answer. Okay. The reason it's so crazy is because it's like, why would you just assume that JQ is Jack Quaid? Like, why would you make that assumption whatsoever? The only way you would mess that up is if you were already having conversations with somebody about Jack Quaid being in the Fantastic Four. And so, you see, what probably happened was they were having conversations about Jack Quaid. Then the source said, yeah, JQ is Johnny. Snyder misinterpreted that to be Jack Quaid, and then made the mistake and had the slip up, and then it all went crazy. So, like, basically, I believe, and I can't prove it, it's just, you know, my opinion and speculation. My opinion is that Jack Quaid is in the Fantastic Four. And Jeff Snyder knew Jack Quaid was going to be in the Fantastic Four. And there was something that was lost in translation. Now, over the weekend, Grace reports separately on Twitter. She says, so this is interesting. I hear Jack Quaid is in the Fantastic Four. He's just not playing Johnny Storm. Really interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think's going on? What do you think's going on? Reed? Okay, let's talk about Reed first. I actually like dude as Reed. He'd be a great Galactus. I mean, he's got like the lower face for it. Ben Grimm, Doctor Doom. Dude, no. Okay, let's just get this out of the way. No Doctor Doom. That would be ridiculous. Please stop casting these people as Dr. Ryan Gosling. You're great in like other things, but you're not Doctor Doom. Jack Quaid, you're great, but you're not Doctor Doom. My God. Could he play Sue Storm? Currently under yes. But luckily he's not. Silver Surfer for sure. Maybe. Tom Cruise's Doctor Doom? I would love that. I would love it. So, I actually think he could play Reed, dude. And I think that would be wild. The problem is, a lot of the reporting around Reed is like, here's the top choices. Dev, Adam Driver, and no eyebrow guy. Matt Smith. Jack Quaid's name has never come up in any of the conversations about the Fantastic Four. Is it possible? Yes. Do I think that's what they're doing? No. And the person that I think he's playing, and this is literally just off of a gut feeling, it is nothing but a gut feeling. I guess a little bit I'm thinking about the fact that Sue and Reed having kids seems to be a thing. I mean, it's obviously a thing in the comics, but what I mean to say is it seems to be a thing that the MCU is interested in exploring. When we see John Krasinski in Multiverse of Madness, he talks about being a father, right? It's very specific that he talks about that. By the way, we're going to get into it because I think his wifey real fucking pissed. Real pissed. And also in Deadpool 3. But, okay, so who I think Jack Quaid is playing is Franklin Richards. But, and this is why I think Jack Quaid would be absolutely perfect for Franklin Richards. There's multiple versions of Franklin. But one thing that happens in Franklin's life, because he's literally a matter manipulator, he's a reality warping, powerful being, crazy powerful, like was a mutant, now is not a mutant. Like it's all complicated, but like he was an Omega level mutant that happened to be the son of Sue Storm and Reed Richards, right? At one point in the comics, he turns himself into an adult. He literally just makes himself into an adult. You know when you were a kid and you wanted to be an adult real bad and you wanted to grow up, and then you grew up and you realized like, oh, bills, taxes, dealing with motherfuckers, this shit ain't all it's cracked up to be. Do you remember that? Well, I think it's possible, and I think Jack Quaid would be so good in this kind of a role, that they make Jack Quaid older Franklin, but when he's young. So he just makes himself in to a man. And that would be bananas. There's also a lot of really fun stuff with Franklin in the Fantastic Four Jonathan Hickman run, where he, from the future, comes back and it's literally older Franklin with younger Franklin, Valeria, Sue, Reed, Future Foundation, like everybody. Like he just literally like comes back. And this is all about, like, the Mad Celestials and some really crazy stuff. And eventually, the older Franklin Richards, like, literally makes Galactus his herald. It's really crazy. We've talked about it before, but he, like, brings him back to life, makes him his herald, fights against the Mad Celestials. We're getting a little too deep into the sweaty, nerdy weeds. But the point is, I really like Franklin Richards. And I think Jack Quaid would be absolutely perfect as Franklin Richards. 100%. That would be sick, dude. And I mean, fuck it, dude. We're bringing in like the most powerful MCU character ever, right? We got Gaia, we got the Green Witch coming, Sentry's on the way. You know, you got all these crazy powerful characters. Fuck it, man. Give me some Franklin Richards. One of my favorite comic book characters. Absolutely love that character. So, I just wanted to touch on that because it kind of flew under the radar, and I think when it comes to, you know, casting and Fantastic Four, I mean, bro, we've been on this ride for so long, and it's weird, and we keep having ups and downs, and it's like, oh, it's going to be this person, it's going to be that person, and it's really annoying. This, though, is actually a really interesting thread within that whole mess. What's up with Jack Quaid? And what the fuck happened last week on the Hot Mic podcast? What do they actually know about what's going on with this character in this movie? It's a pretty interesting, I don't know, train of thought, an interesting thing to consider. Much more interesting than like who's going to be playing Reed, you know? Although I guess yes, it could end up being this guy. Would you guys hate it if this guy was Reed? Like, would you hate it though? Because like, okay, I would hate it if Matt Smith was Reed. I'm gonna be honest with you, I would hate it. I would hate it if Ryan Gosling is Doctor Doom. Like, I would hate it. You guys wouldn't hate it, though? Wouldn't hate it, but Jack Quaid would be kind of young. I mean, Jack Quaid has certainly like a baby face, but he's getting older technically every day. And, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could probably make him look fine as Reed. Plus, like, that's what I see when I think of Reed. I know there's, like, a lot of people talking about how, like, Reed's this, like, egotistical, like, out of touch. Like, I've always thought of Reed as a gentler, softer, at least, presence and demeanor, while also being incredibly dangerous to the entire universe just by virtue of his own intelligence. So, I don't know. I actually think he could nail it and he could be Reed, and that would be really, really cool. But, alas. You know, the only other thing I really wanted to get into before we dive deeply into the leaks and, like, explaining everything is the box office for Indiana Jones. Okay? Now, we don't have to belabor the point here. I think we all realize what happened with Indiana Jones. It's literally maybe one of the worst box office bombs in the history of Hollywood. Certainly one of the worst that Disney has ever actually encountered. It's crazy how much money they lost on this movie. This movie's going to end its theatrical run making less money than the Alden Ehrenreich Han Solo movie. Now, the reason that's so ironic and funny and interesting is because fucking Kathleen Kennedy tried to blame Solo bombing on the fact that it wasn't Harrison Ford and they did Alden Ehrenreich instead, and they should have just like, my God, man. My God. So sometimes, just as a small side here, okay? Oh, we got some lag? Oh, fuck. Lag? Oh, fuck. Disney. Oh, Disney, why? Disney, don't do it. Don't do it. I just one more time. One more time I want to shit on them. Just one more time. Okay. All right. I think we're good. Okay. So, point I was trying to make, and some of y'all have been riding with me for a long, long time, okay? Do you guys remember ever when I did a thought experiment, right? And I've talked about it. Xavier, welcome to the Nerd Ventures. You are a Nerd Venture now. By the way, I appreciate all the new members, but we got to watch out for spies. After what I said earlier, some of these people trying to see what's what. So, Andrew, are you a spy? Andrew, welcome to the Nerd Ventures. You are a Nerd Venture now. We're just going to have to test all of these people. Every new member that comes in today, we're going to give them a rigorous shakedown before I expose the tea tomorrow. Yeah. I'm the spy. Okay. Y'all, you remember I've done this thing before as a thought experiment where sometimes when you approach a problem, it's actually useful to think to yourself, what's the exact opposite way I would approach this if I wanted to fail at this thing as much as possible? So like, for instance, let's say you want to run a race and you want to do really well in this race. Okay, you want to win the race. Well, what's the way you would not win the race? Like, what's the exact opposite path that you could take to ensure that you didn't win the race? And that would be like not training, not watching your diet, not caring about your sleep, not having the right footwear, like all of these different things, okay? And what's interesting is sometimes when you think like that, it allows you to sort of deconstruct the right thing to do, because then you can be like, okay, well, what's the fucking opposite of that? It's kind of like a weird way to kind of cut off your legs. That's a great, yeah. So, okay, we've done these thought experiments before. You remember? Throw a 1 to the chat if you remember. Here's what I keep thinking about when I think of Kathleen Kennedy. She does this thought experiment, except she's just doing the first part. That's the only explanation for how fucking bad the decisions have been. She just doesn't do the other part. It's crazy. It's bananas. And the irony is so funny. I feel like there has to be something else going on beyond our physical reality, whether it's God, the universe, the simulation, chaos demons in the warp, Warhammer fans, you know what it is. Look, there's something going on, because there's a sweet irony to how bad, not only how bad, but just how hilarious Kathleen Kennedy keeps fucking up. She literally came out and tried to sell us all on the fact that Solo would have done fine if they just would have brought Harrison Ford back and de-aged him. That was the big problem. Bro, I'm not even making that shit up. She came out on interviews for Star Wars Celebration, the biggest platform for people to know what the fuck is going on, and she told us dead ass, oh yeah, well, I think we learned that you can't replace nostalgic characters. That's what we learned from Solo. That's why it's failed. And then the exact thing that she's talking about, bringing Harrison Ford back, de-aging him, trying to play the nostalgia strings, it literally bombs worse than Solo. Solo was such a bad bomb, they canceled all the other Star Wars spin-off movies and then panicked and stopped making Star Wars movies. It's hilarious. Sorry, that was probably crazy in the mic. I didn't mean to do that. But you get what I'm saying. It's fucking crazy, dude. And I just wanted to bring it up because, well, partially because it's funny. Partially because I don't know what it's going to take, dude. I literally don't know what it's going to take for the whole of Star Wars and the fandom to, just see what it is and to just see how bad things actually are. It's crazy, man. I can't believe she still has a job. And by the way, it's gone. It's not even in theaters anymore. So you can fire her now, today, and it would be fine. In fact, I think there would be cheers across the nation. I really do. So who knows what the deal is with that? Hopefully she gone, because my God, did it bomb. Okay. Shall we begin? Shall we play a game? Okay, so there's a bunch of really awesome Reddit posts. Jake, what's up? Welcome back to the Nerd Vengers. I don't think you're the spy because you were a Nerd Venger before, but we're still going to have to shake you down. Okay, so this is a really freaking awesome post here by Moon Knight 21 days ago. It's a mod post on the Marvel Studios spoiler subreddit, and they've compiled everything tier 2 or higher source accurate from their source accuracy database, And they're giving us all the goods on all the spoilers. Okay? And we're going to go over all of them. Like, bro, look at this shit, bro. Hey, bro, you got some time? Hey, bro, clear your afternoon. Hey, clear it. Clear your meetings. Clear your meetings. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. We've got a lot to get into. Okay? Incredible aggregator here. Incredible aggregator. So, let's go over it. First up, let's talk about Daniel RPK saying that Emilia Clarke's character is known as Nell in human form here. Okay, so here's the thing, dude. Did that actually happen? This looks to be from Emilia Clarke's character called Gaia, and her human form is Nell. She's Taylor's daughter. Did we ever get this confirmed or not? Jesse Price, welcome back to the Nerd Avengers. Did you guys have to help me out, because Secret Invasion was such unremarkable shit that I don't know. Okay. So that's only interesting insofar as, like, yes, Gaia, the thing was correct. It's possible this part was correct as well, because there was a lot of stuff they changed about Secret Invasion. So maybe at one time she was Nell, but yeah, that didn't end up coming to fruition. I wouldn't dock Daniel points for that. You know what I mean? Loki season 2. Jeff Snyder says Jonathan Majors has a small role. I believe they're just going to link to the hot mic. I believe that is still true. Obviously, we saw Jonathan Majors in the trailer, so he obviously has some parts. I do think it's possible that they made some changes to Loki season 2. It's possible we have slightly less Jonathan Majors than we had before. But by the way, another small tangent, a small aside here. Some really interesting news broke last week about Jonathan Majors, okay? And it appears that connected to the fact that he was awarded the delay for his trial into September, apparently, and I would love it if some of y'all checked this out, because I heard it from a few people, but it's like not being reported anywhere else, so I find it kind of strange. But apparently his accuser is not in the country. The report said she fled the country. I'm not sure what the deal is. So if that's true, that makes Jonathan look really, really good. I'm going to be honest with you. Because like to literally flee and to have like the inability to actually go to court because of this. And look, there were already a lot of question marks about this. I mean, the fact that, like, well, did Jonathan actually call 911? Did he not? Because there's like kind of conflicting reports about that. Why is there no first account win? There's all kinds of like weirdness with regards to this story. If it ends up being true that she fled the country, bro, that's crazy. And if he's exonerated next month, I actually think Marvel's probably just going to move forward with him, which is honestly probably good for everybody, if I'm being honest. And yeah, we'll probably just sort of wash our hands of it and kind of move on, So we'll see. I think we'll know about that fairly soon. By the way, Cosmic Circus did get this correct, releasing in October. They had that obviously before the announcement. This post, everything we're looking at today, guys, was posted like months ago. Or at least a month ago. But it's all still accurate stuff that people were saying in the past. And so it's going to be good to kind of give us a look at everything that's going on. Now, this one's kind of interesting here. Because they were kind of hinting, does this mean they recast or they're entirely removing the Kang storyline? No, absolutely not. Marvel is far too deep in the multiverse lore to back out with Kang now. The multiverse saga will continue. As for Majors, everyone will have the answer they're waiting for by the end of Loki season 2. Now, you might think, this is what's kind of interesting, is like a lot of these scoopers speak in very purposefully vague ways, okay? As an example, Alex said before the newest Loki trailer came out that it would have that the scene at the World Fair would have a sizable amount of action. Okay? What he was referring to was the fact that Miss Minutes made herself really big. That's what he was referring to as far as sizable amount of action. And he even admitted that after the trailer came out. So it's like weird. You got to watch like how they speak about these things. So everyone will have the answer they're waiting for by the end of Loki season 2. That could mean that there's going to be something that happens in Loki season 2 at the end that explains that. Or it could mean that Marvel's going to make a decision by the end of Loki season 2 and all the court cases will be done. I did have somebody tell me that they'll probably, Marvel itself, is probably going to look at the numbers for Loki and like what the fans are saying before they make a decision. I don't know how true that is. I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing to keep in mind is like they put a lot on majors, bro. That's either way you slice it, probably a mistake that they did that, even if dude's totally innocent, because the whole thing that just happened proves don't do that. Like, don't just put everything on one individual. Like, I mean, it's crazy. But they did it, and we're kind of too far in. So I don't know, man. I think if you look at the trailer views for Loki, and you look at the buzz for Loki season 2, it does seem like this will cut through a lot of the like bullcrap that's going on with Marvel. It feels like right now Marvel fans and a vast amount of Marvel fans are really good at being like, this shit's dope and matters. I don't give a fuck about this. Like, they're very good at separating it out. Loki appears to be one of those things that's really important, and I think a lot of people are going to show up for it. So if it does great, then Marvel should feel confident moving forward with majors, because it's apparently not enough of an issue to actually stop people from watching the stuff. So kind of interesting there. Not exactly sure what that means, but all this stuff about Loki season 2 is true. By the way, we've done a lot of videos about the leaks for Loki. The most recent trailer breakdown that we did, I think, gets a lot of stuff accurate and actually also talks about a lot of stuff that other scoopers and people are not talking about. So if you want to go watch that video, you'll get like a full picture of it. Although I guess we are just going crazy on spoilers. Should we just pause for a second and talk more about Loki? Oh no. Should we just talk about Loki? Strangely, talking about Loki, especially after the stuff I was told yesterday, actually connects to Deadpool 3. Maybe we should wait on it. Maybe we should wait on that. Quartz Quantum, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now and also potentially a spy. We're going to shake you down. Okay, I can give a TLDR on what I think is happening with Loki. The main thing, the big leak, the big thing is who the actual villain's going to be in the movie or in the show. And this, maybe it's wrong. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not true. But I think it is. And I think it's what's the gal's name? She was in Game of Thrones. I think her last name is Dicky. Some of y'all know who I'm talking about here. She played the crazy lady that was pushing people out the hole in the Veil. What's her name? The actress. Lil Dicky. Yeah. No, it's not Kate Dicky. It's Lil Dicky now. Okay. So apparently, Lil Kate Dicky is an older variant of Sylvie that is actually in charge of the TVA. And so you know how in the trailer there are shots where the TVA, Loki, Mobius, and Sylvie, young Sylvie, are being attacked by other TVA members? Do you remember that from the trailer? Yes or no? What's going... Can we wake up? I know it's a Monday. Can we wake up, please? Put on another cup of coffee, motherfuckers. We're going to be here for a while. Holy shit. Holy shit. You wake up, sir? I'm trying. I got the coffee. Okay. So here's what's going on in that scene, according to the leaks. Schmiegelbop, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. Bubba B, welcome back, baby. Kirby Legs, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. Look at all these potential spies. This is kind of concerning. Okay. Here's what's apparently going on in that scene. Lil Kate Dickey from the future is sending TVA agents to stop the TVA of the present with young Sylvie, Loki, and Mobius. And this is because Loki, Mobius, young Sylvie are trying to preserve the timelines that she created when she killed He Who Remains. But Loki, or Sylvie, in the far future, little Kate Dickey, she has a different perspective after being alive for probably eons and eons. That's speculation. I don't know for sure. But regardless, she's trying to destroy all those timelines. So the main villain of the movie is... Why do I keep saying movie? The main villain of the show is little Kate Dickey in the future actually in charge of the TVA. Now, how does that all fit together? I don't know, bro. It's all timey-wimey, fucking whatever. It's going to be super weird how it all ties together. I need to know how the Council of Kangs come into play. As far as I understand it, the Council of Kangs are not going to come into play with this movie. I'm still a little like iffy on how all of that works together. But here's something that I could speculate on, okay? Oh man. Okay, here's what I could speculate on. Do you guys know what the time loom is? The time loom. Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? Time loom? Anybody? Time loom? Hello? Oh my god. All right, I'm going to pull up this trailer. You know, if you just would have watched the video I made, you would have understood it. Holy shit. If you would have watched the trailer, you would have understood it. You would have understood it. Okay. Time loom. Where you at, baby? Where you at, baby? Time loom. Where you at, baby? Here we go. Okay. Time loom. Time loom. This is the time loom. So what is it? Well, it seems to be taking a bunch of strands of the multiverse. Branch timelines are just timelines existing in space. And it's funneling them all together, or, you know, how a loom would take a bunch of loose thread or loose cotton or material and spin it into thread. So this time loom is spinning the threads of the multiverse into a coherent and cohesive rope of multiverse. And what I think is going on, even though I'm speculating here, what I think is going on is that the creation of the sacred timeline, which, here, let's get, you know what? Let's get crazy. Do you guys have some time today? Does anybody have to get out of here at a certain time or whatever? Because, like, we're going fucking deep, bro. I got to show you some shit. This is crazy. TVA explanation video. Okay. Okay. Let me show y'all something. Let's get real sweaty. Oh, god damn it. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. There's been a malfunction. Okay. Okay, let's get real sweaty. Let me susplain.
Long ago, there was a vast multiversal war. Countless unique timelines battled each other for supremacy.
Countless unique timelines.
Nearly resulted in the total destruction of, well...
Total destruction of everything.
Everything. But then the all-knowing timekeepers emerged, bringing peace by reorganizing...
Okay, so check this out. Bringing peace by reorganizing. So all of these timelines are doing what? They're being spun into the sacred timeline.
Peace by reorganizing the multiverse into a
That's what it is. Time loom.
Single timeline. The sacred timeline. Now the timekeepers protect and preserve the proper flow of time for
time loom. And by the way, we all know this is... Do you know this video is bullshit, right? You know this is propaganda from the TVA and from He Who Remains. Is that not obvious? Still, the connection is there of what they're saying has happened, taking all these timelines and looming them all together as the actual sacred timeline. This also explains at the end of Loki season 1. Remember how we go into a singular universe and then we're in there and there's all these like strands that we can see? You remember? So that's what you have going on there, okay?
For everyone and every...
Now, let's go back to the trailer. Loki season 1 trailer, and I want to show you something else. Where's it at? Where's it at? Okay, 2 things we got to show you. This, first of all, what does this look like? Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? Bueller? The time loom. Time loom. Okay, good. Good. You got hey, good job. You guys. You fucking guys, man. Okay, let's keep explaining. Now, let's just because I was talking about this before, but now we've got visual aids. Let's talk about this again. So this is the TVA with Loki, with Mobius, with all of them, and then portals open and another TVA and comes to attack them. Now, what we think is going on here is that the TVA that's attacking is from Lil Kate Dickey in the future, old Sylvie variant that's sending her TVA back to try to destroy these timelines. That's why you have TVA on TVA violence. Pretty wild. Okay. Next thing we got to talk about. Not quite there. Okay. Here we go. So, what's going on in this scene? Porter Stanley. What's up, brother? Welcome to the Nerd Avengers. Welcome back. So, what's going on in this scene? Okay, we're looking at a mural in the TVA. It has the Time Lords, and the Time Lords are holding Das Sacred Timeline. We can see in the foreground the severed head of one of the Time Lords. Loki is destroying the mural, revealing behind it an image of who? He Who Remains. He Who Remains. Now, according to the leaks, what happened was, you see what had happened was, He Who Remains, when he originally created the TVA, was creating it to stop, let's say, the death of the multiverse via being just disorganized chaos and, you know, the dead strands of the multiverse allowing everything to destroy. And I'll explain that in a second. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll tell you. Okay? But according to the leaks, He Who Remains originally recruited all the TVA members, and he didn't actually erase their memories. And they are actually working for He Who Remains. Apparently, at the end of Loki season 1, when Loki is sent back in time, he arrives at a TVA that is existing in time before the TVA we see all throughout Loki season 1 that believes in the Time Lords. At one point in time, Kang erases, I guess I should just say He Who Remains. He Who Remains erases everybody's memories, and he then starts the idea of the Time Lords. He created the Time Lords, created the idea of the TVA because for whatever reason, his original version of the TVA didn't work. So what you're seeing in this scene is Loki, who has been shown the truth via time slipping, unveiling the secrets of the TVA. It's also possible that in this scene, Loki actually doesn't fully understand what's going on, and he's just still afraid of He Who Remains because of Loki season 1, right? So he's just like exposing this, but he doesn't quite understand. I'm a little unclear on like how that's actually going to shake out in the show, but that's what you're seeing here. Okay. There's one other thing I wanted to explain in here with regards to the time loom. What was it? Oh, okay, yeah. We gotta explain this. We gotta explain this. This. I think there's another shot of it too. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, what does this look like on the screen? What does this look like on the screen? Anybody? It's the time loom. Again. Okay. So, what's going on in this scene? And why is all the strands and everything like that, okay? Apparently what this is the universes that are expanding off of the sacred timeline dying. And there's some kind of like unraveling that's going on here. Alex Perez has hinted that it's very similar to what happens with that big Ant-Man variant in the Nexus in Quantum Mania. So remember when the variants in the Quantum Mania movie were like unraveling and shredding like ropes? That's apparently what's going on in this scene. That's also what's going on in this scene. Like, this is what it looks like when this is falling apart here. And apparently, and this is according to the leaks, what happened was the TVA is actually taking all of these branch timelines and looming them together to create the sacred timeline that essentially has all of the universes separated, so there's no crossover, right? And after Loki season 1, so many more branches were created, which is referenced by Mobius at the end of Loki season 1. So many branches were created that it's overpowering the time loom. The time loom itself doesn't have the ability to keep all of these branches and like keep them smooth. And somehow, some way, they're fraying, becoming untethered, like a rope fraying back into craziness, right? So that's what's going on in Loki season 2, according to the leaks, okay? I think that's probably everything we have to say about Loki. Are there any questions from the class? Any questions? But remember when He Who Remains said he used the power of Goliath to do that, to end the multiversal war? So the two things with that. Number one, we have to think about, is He Who Remains an accurate narrator? Is he a reliable narrator? And I would tell you no. But beyond even that, you also have to really pay closely attention to what he's saying. He harnessed the power of Goliath to end the multiversal war. We really don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really don't know what the complete scope of that, like, sentence actually implies. Another thing, one last thing on Loki, because again, this connects into Deadpool 3 and Kang, etc., etc. I feel very strongly that Miss Minutes and where she goes after she confronts Loki and Sylvie with that crazy jump scare. Dude, by the way, do you remember that? That shit was crazy with that jump scare, where it's just like, boom, it's just Miss Minutes or whatever. I'm pretty sure Miss Minutes is on a mission after that, and it's going to connect to Deadpool 3. I'll talk more about that later this week. Okay, next up, let's talk about the Marvels. Now, this one's kind of interesting, man, because I think one of the... it's crazy that they don't put this in here, but do y'all remember when Jeff Snyder basically said the movie was a mess and there's a bunch of drama behind the scenes? So, I don't know why everybody's acting like that wasn't a story that was out there, and why people like Casey Walsh, Can We Get Some Toast, like all these people are now acting like, oh no, this is like a really, really great movie. Which, by the way, one of the things that Casey Walsh said that like made me be like, blah, blah, blah. He was like, The Marvels is one of the best movies they've test screened all year. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, what do you mean one of the best movies they've test screened all year? There's only 3 Marvel movies that came out this year. One was one of the worst movies I've ever fucking seen in Quantumania. The other one was a pretty good movie in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I rewatched this weekend. It's pretty awesome. What does it mean it's one of the best? Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, I feel like that's so crazy. Now, regardless of that, as far as leaks, right? Anime-inspired action news. Test screening went well. Hollywood Reporter was wrong. No Kobe Smolders. Kamala tracks down Kate Bishops and mentions Cassie Lang. That's in the post-credit scene. Photon name won't be used for Monica Rambeau. Okay, so all of this comes from an old 4chan leak, which apparently is pretty accurate even still to this day when it comes to the Marvels. So spoiler warning, let's talk about the Marvels. In fact, I could probably find the Marvels plot leak. Oh, man. I mean, how hard do y'all want to go? Do you want to know the whole movie? Maybe we should read this plot leak and see how much it matches up to what we've seen in the trailers. Because even myself, probably a little... like, this is one of the ones I haven't been paying too much attention to. You know what I mean? And I'm going to do it like this, so we can see it a little bit better. Okay. Zoe Ashton, apparently she's Tom Hiddleston's real life wife. Cool. Character named Dar Ben. I didn't see any sexual attention, which, believe me, I was looking for it. Okay, that's probably Can We Get Some Toes. Comments are made about how Carol is obsessed with Dar Ben, but it's made clear that it's because Carol doesn't trust her. And it's also made very clear that Carol isn't wrong for mistrusting her. She's quite obviously the villain. Dar Ben... Oh, can you see? Did I mess this up a little bit? Let's do it like this. Here we go. Dar Ben is the regular leader of the Kree. No side faction or anything like that. In flashbacks, she witnesses Carol attacking the Supreme Intelligence, and that's her villain origin story. Interesting. The Kree refer to Carol as the Annihilator. Pause. Pretty sure that that's in the trailer. You guys got to help me out on this. You guys got to help me out on this. I'm pretty sure that's in the trailer, no? Somebody get the trailer pulled up. No, when they call her the Annihilator in the trailer. Pretty sure Megan Fox is in the Marvels. That'd be awesome. It's in the trailer. Cool. Let's keep going. Dar-Ben has one bangle. Kamala has the other. No idea how she has it. She's using it to power a weapon, but she needs both bangles. There's a funny line where Dar-Ben demands to know how Kamala got such an ancient and powerful artifact, and Kamala responds, "My grandma sent it to me in the mail." It wasn't explained in the rough cut that I saw, but immediately, Monica, Carol, and Kamala begin switching places every time they use their powers. Monica is working on a space station, Swords, the Peak headquarters, with Nick Fury. That is also confirmed in the leaks. Kamala is at home, and Carol is trying to sneak into a Kree/Skrull peace summit because she doesn't trust Dar-Ben, who is the leader of the Kree. Feels about right. So Carol starts fighting Kree soldiers. We've seen that in the trailer. And then begins switching with Kamala and Monica. We've seen that in the trailer. And the Kree soldiers start switching with her. So at one point, Carol is on the Peak with Fury while Kamala is at the Peace Summit. And Monica is fighting Kree soldiers in the Khan living room. By the way, we've seen that shit in the trailer too. Which, to be honest with you, was like confusing. I was like, how do these Kree soldiers get there? But now it makes sense reading the plot leak from 7 months ago that was accurate as fuck. Are you paying attention? Okay. While the Khan family tries to hit them with brooms, fight them, runs around screaming. Very fun sequence. At the end, everyone, Fury included, ends up in the Khan living room, except for Kamala. That ending scene in a Miss Marvel show is a direct shot from the Marvels. Carol leaves the house and tries to fly off, but they switch again. And suddenly Kamala is falling out of the sky, and Fury tells Monica she has to fly and save her. Monica resists because she doesn't know how to control her flight yet. And Fury yells, "Come on, black girl magic." And Monica flies up to save Kamala. However, she loses control on the way down. Everyone is screaming. And at the last second, Monica and Carol switch. And Carol is able to stop before they hit the ground. Fury screams as they're dropping at the last second. It's just Carol. Anyway, Carol, Monica, and Kamala go off to investigate Dar-Ben, sticking together because they can't control the switching every time they use their powers. It's really not explained except for an allusion to how their powers are all similar or variations of each other? Question mark. They discover that Dar-Ben is using a new weapon to create unstable portals that seal the resources, or steal rather, the resources, water, air, sun, of whole planets. And she sends the resources to the destroyed Hala to rebuild it. She's so far destroyed one planet at the beginning of the film for its atmosphere. She destroys a second Kree-Skrull peace talks, and then she goes after on to steal their water. Okay. Carol has already been to Aladana and is reluctant to go back because she is the princess married to Prince Yan in an accidental diplomatic mistake. Everyone on this is where the musical shit comes in. Everyone on Aladana sings as a way of communicating. Bree sings. She has a lovely voice, but it's an awful sequence. Hopefully they've cut down on that shit, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Thunder Khajiit, welcome to the Nerd Vengers, you potential spy. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the support. Okay. They realize the planet is Dar-Ben's next target and go there to get help fighting her, to protect the planet and stop her rampage. The girls bond well before this in a montage on Carol's ship. Oh my God. Bonding girl power. I can't wait. Monica helps Carol get used to working with Kamala. Carol yelled at Kamala in an earlier scene because Kamala froze up in a pivotal moment. Monica reminds Carol Kamala isn't a soldier. Monica and Carol also have conversations about how Carol left and never came back. All three kind of work through their issues. It's later revealed that Carol did indeed come back and visit Maria more than once. That's kind of nice. I like that. Prince Jan doesn't have a crush on Carol. He and Carol are married. Okay. But Carol and Prince Jan seem to have a very platonic relationship and mutual respect. Nonetheless, Carol is very embarrassed about it and reluctant to visit. It's played like she doesn't understand the customs and accidentally got diplomatically married to the prince at some point in the past. The citizens of the planet worship her as their princess. Prince Jan himself is cool, though, and isn't played as a goofy trope, though. Okay. But it's a whole awkward sequence that goes on for entirely too long. Maybe they cut this down. Maybe it's not as bad now. But it's a whole awkward sequence. Monica is weirded out by the whole situation. Kamala is excited. Monica asks Kamala is going to put this in her Captain Marvel fanfic. Kamala says yes. Anyway, Carol realizes that she's going after every planet Carol has ever called home in an act of revenge. Earth is the last part of the plan. Meanwhile, Fury takes the Khan family up to the space station to keep them protected so he can monitor the situation from there. A side plot on the space station with Fury, some techs find weird eggs inside all the space station machinery. They're all really worried about some sort of alien attack. The eggs hatch and it's revealed that they are newborn Flurkin kittens. Chaos ensues on the space station. Okay. Later, the space station is damaged by Dar-Ben when she attacks Earth in the climax. There are not enough escape pods to get everyone off the station, and it crashes. Fury comes up with the idea of feeding everyone on the station to the Flurkin kittens, then putting all the kittens into escape pods. What? Oh, because they can hold stuff in their... I was like, what the fuck? Okay, cool. Monica and Carol go to Hala, and it's raining for the first time on Hala, and the surviving Kree are celebrating because Dar-Ben brought atmosphere and water back to them. Carol realizes that the Annihilator is accurate from their perspective. She destroyed this planet, and the survivors are struggling. And she's a great villain in their eyes. And she has a moral reckoning. Stopping Dar-Ben means destroying Hala all over again. Monica gives her a little bit of a pep talk that basically amounts to, we can't save everyone. We have to get to Hala and destroy... We have to let Hala be destroyed again. Carol reaffirms her desire to stop Dar-Ben. In addition to Dar-Ben destroying planets, her creation of portals makes the universe unstable, increasing the likelihood of an incursion, which is another reason they have to stop her. An incursion happens in the climax. Carol fights Dar-Ben while Monica and Kamala try to fix the incursion. Monica ends up flying through the tear in the universe and fixes it on the other side and ends up stuck in the other universe. Now, we also know what the two post-credit scenes are, at least according to the leaks. Again, take all of this with a grain of salt, but like, are you starting to like understand that this shit's accurate? That this has been out for over 7 months? That maybe people leaking stuff are taking it from old plot leaks and putting it out sporadically to make it seem like there's a constant flow of news? Anyway, the two post-credit scenes. I believe... I actually don't know the order that they're in, okay? One of them is going to be Kamala recruiting Kate Bishop, okay? One of them is going to be Kamala recruiting Kate Bishop via some kind of scene where apparently earlier on in the movie... Monica, or there's like a dialogue thing going on that's explained to be Kamala. Like Kamala is doing a voiceover thing, and then it ends up being connected to the post-credit scene. I'm not really sure how all that works, but she's got a tablet of Nick Fury's that tells her the whereabouts of every superhero on the planet, and so she's recruiting Kate Bishop. That's one of them. Elliot Harris, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now, and also a possible spy. Second post-credit scene, much more interesting. Apparently, this will see Monica Rambeau, respectfully, coming face-to-face with her mother, Maria. Except, this is Maria from a different universe. And I think it's implied that this is Maria from the 838 universe. And that Monica, in the post-credit scene for the Marvels, which, like, kind of is the only reason to see the movie. In my opinion, if some of this shit sounds cool to you, that's fine. I'm going to see the movie. They've already got my money. But I think maybe the only thing that matters is this post-credit scene. The first post-credit scene is setting up the Young Avengers. Whatever. The second post-credit scene is setting up a conflict between 616 and 838. And the fact that Monica is trapped in 838, very interesting. A thread that can be pulled on later. And that's cool. So, there you have it. The Marvels. Shall we next go to Echo? By the way, are you having a good time? Smash like if you're having a good time, and let me know by throwing a 1 into the chat, or being like, hey, you're the best, Josh. Really appreciate you. Thanks for everything you do, or some shit like that. You know, I could use some of that. If somebody, by the way, I'm cute, you're mad. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. You are a Nerd Venger now. So here's the thing that's kind of funny. We always joke about like the Disney spies and the Marvel spies or whatever. I'm usually pretty good about not putting leaks into the streams. If there's like an actual spy watching this stream, they're probably like losing their shit because they're like, oh my God, they're literally telling everything. You know what I mean? And that's kind of making me smile. You know, that's kind of bringing some joy to my heart. I also do, though, have to go pee really bad. So can y'all, like, hang on just a second? And then we'll get into spoiling everything else that's going on with Marvel. Would that be okay? Can I go take a pee? Or should I just... You're not cool if you pee your pants? Unless you pee your pants? Sort of thing? Okay, I'm going to go have a pee. You know, I'm gonna go have a nice pee. I'll be right back. Real quick, guys. Look how big this dude is. Just real quick. I'm going to pass him right back to his mom, but look at how big he is. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. You want a bottle? That's a big boy. 1 year old this month. I can't believe it. Okay. Echo. So the verified stuff here is that Echo references Daredevil season 1. Ooh, I gotta spoil something else big. Ooh, I shouldn't say this. I literally shouldn't say what I'm about to say. But I'm gonna fucking say it, bro. We're gonna say it. I don't care. This stream is crazy. I might have to delete this stream. Whew. Okay. I don't believe this points to all of Daredevil being canon. I have heard, and I'm actually not sure about this one. I'm not sure about this one. And if you're the person that told me about this, my bad. But pretty sure it's already out there. Okay. You know how everybody keeps teasing stuff about Foggy Nelson and Karen Page? And do you know how Matt Murdock's going to have a different girlfriend and a different partner and a different firm in Daredevil? I've heard that they're going to kill Foggy and Karen off screen. That they're literally going to kill them off screen. And that them being killed off screen is going to factor in to something that Matt is doing, and possibly why the Punisher is working with Daredevil. Because you'll remember Frank Castle had a soft spot for Karen Page. Yeah. Now, look, I don't know for sure if that's true, okay? But it kind of makes sense with some of the things that the leakers are teasing out and talking about. Really curious, by the way, how fans will react to that. If that is indeed the way it's going down, wow. We'll see how that goes. Okay, but anyway, back to Echo, right? So I don't think it's going to point to Daredevil being canon, although maybe loosely, you know what I mean? And look, as far as I understand, this was what's really weird, dude, is apparently Echo is actually about Echo working with Kingpin again. And like, when I first heard that, I was like, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. But apparently, that's kind of similar to what happens in the comics, right? So, like, I think what's going to happen is, even though she shot him in the face, yeah, she shoots him in the face. Apparently, they're going to resolve their differences, and she's actually going to be working for Wilson Fisk again, okay? Now, the other thing that's going on with Echo is she's going to get powers. So she's getting more powers now. And these are sort of like due to her Native American heritage. I don't know how they're going to explain that she's getting the powers now, but they're going to show stuff that happened in the past with her upbringing in the tribe and her dad. But she didn't have the powers before. So like some of the powers are like she's going to have tattoos that she can like manifest as like energy or like fire weapons and stuff like this. Yeah, like tattoo powers. I know. It's like, look, Echo, by all accounts, was a terrible idea. And I think even all the ideas they have within Echo are terrible. The only thing that's good about Echo is that there is Kingpin, there is Daredevil, and it kind of sets up what's going on with Born Again, which is probably why they don't just cancel it. It was taken from 6 episodes to 5. I think they put some more juice into it, meaning there could even be some other surprise cameos, which would be cool. But there's really not much else to say about Echo. The main plot, I think, is about her working with Wilson Fisk while being confronted by like Daredevil and other people. Really weird, dude. Like really weird. Okay. Okay, let's talk about Ironheart. Ironheart, okay? According to Can We Get Some Toes, features 3 models of Ironheart armor. That's actually cool, okay? Look, I'm not like, there's some cool aspects to Ironheart. How are you guys feeling about Ironheart? Because, like, on the one hand, I'm like, okay, there's some interesting things going on here. But I think a lot of the problem is because of all the other MCU shows, my expectations are they'll barely touch on that shit, leave everything important hanging to be explored later, and we're not going to like really get the juice the way we should. Like, basically what I'm saying is the version of Ironheart that I had in my head after I first started hearing about the leaks, and I was like, yo, that's dope, that's dope, that's dope, and I had this version of the show in my head, that is damn sure not what they're going to do. It is not going to be that cool. It is not going to be that interesting. Okay? But even having said that, it is interesting that they're going to have the 3 models of the Ironheart armor. Sacha Baron Cohen filmed Ironheart reshoots, not filming for Agatha. So Sacha Baron Cohen, and again, this is like big time leak stuff, but that's what we're doing. That's what today's stream is. Sacha Baron Cohen apparently is Mephisto. Okay? And there were a lot of weird rumors around this. Some people said he was filming during Ironheart for a special presentation, a Mephisto special presentation that was going to come out. Some people were saying he was filming stuff on the set of Ironheart for the Agatha Coven of Chaos show. Now, as far as we know, I don't think that he's actually going to be in Coven of Chaos. Could be. I don't really know. Okay? Regardless of that, the thing that's interesting about Mephisto, and like this is pretty much the only reason I'm like vaguely even interested in the show. I mean, I like the hood. I like the idea of science versus magic. But once you started like really hearing shit about Mephisto, it gets really weird. So one of the things that's weird is Mephisto bought Avengers Tower, according to My Time to Shine. Hello. Let's look at that article. Or, Cosmic Circus. So he talks about the selling of the tower. Here's where it is right here. Our sources can exclusively confirm that Mephisto was in fact the mysterious benefactor that purchased Avengers Tower from Tony Stark in Spider-Man Homecoming. As of right now, we can't confirm if Tony Stark knew he was making a deal with the devil or not. Although Mephisto's reason for wanting Avengers Towers lines up with what we already know about Ironheart. And that has to do with the fact that Mephisto has a fascination with technology and that the Hood is stealing tech for Mephisto in Ironheart. So the mystery here, exactly, Trev, that is the mystery. Why would Mephisto need Stark tech? Anybody? Anybody have any ideas? Bueller? Anybody? Any ideas? Any thoughts? Wait, what the hell? Here, so you can see it better. Damn it, I wanted it to be for Doom. Yeah, it would be cool. For Kang, but why would Mephisto be working with Kang? Is that Black Ice Coffee? It sure is. Incursion in his realm? Maybe. Time travel multiverse? Maybe. I think Caesar's right. I think it's because Stark Tech could handle the powers of the Infinity Stone. And as far as I understand it, I think that was reported on earlier as well. Hood steals tech for advanced biosuit for Mephisto. Mephisto has the Hood stealing tech from him to build an advanced biosuit. But why does he need a biosuit? And here's the other thing that's really weird and interesting. Do you guys remember there were stories and images that showed Mephisto looking like a member of the band Kiss, where they said he's going to be in metal armor, and it looked all bulky and like a suit of armor that the band Kiss would wear. Yeah. See? SS Hair is getting it. He's like, oh my God. Yeah. So this is how all this shit comes together. It seems like that first leak of the suit, and everybody's like, dude, you look weird. He's like pale in a suit. That's probably concept designs for like what they're doing with this suit in Mephisto. I don't really know exactly how it all fits together, right? But it seems like that's what's going on. I think the events of Avengers Endgame and Stark Tech being able to reverse the snap, I think that's what it is. Swift Sam, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now and also a potential spy. Somebody check them out. Somebody shake them down. I think that's what it is. I think allowing a mortal being to be able to use the Infinity Stones and bring everybody back is probably what put Mephisto on notice and why he wants to get the suit. Mephisto should be able to hold us down. I agree with that. I agree with that. But that's not to say, Trev, that it wouldn't be interesting to Mephisto that a mortal was able to conceive technology that allowed a mortal to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know exactly what the deal is with that, but it's kind of interesting. It's like an intriguing aspect of Ironheart. You know what I mean? Like, I really do think that's kind of interesting and cool. Apparently, we're only going to see glimpses of his true form. We'll see Sacha Baron Cohen mostly in a suit, like a businessman, which is kind of interesting. And what else is going on? I mean, we could try to look up the old plot leak if we really wanted to, because there's probably an old leak that has pretty much everything that we're talking about. Let's see. Let's see here. What's this? That's not really much. You know what? Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, maybe we don't have a full plot leak on that. Essentially, I do believe it's like magic for science. I think the Hood is stealing Stark tech for Mephisto, and then we'll, see how that all ties together. I actually cannot find a full-on plot leak about it. Probably because there wasn't an actual screen test for it yet. That's probably what's going on there. Okay, but that's pretty much everything we know about Ironheart. Now, for me, it's way too early to know, is this actually going to be dope? There's a lot of potential here, but frankly, there's potential in every Disney Plus show, every Marvel show, and they just always leave that shit on the vine. So I'm expecting Ironheart to be pretty unremarkable and pretty whatever. But a lot of the stuff that's in it, and this whole science, versus magic thing, is kind of interesting. Right? It is kind of interesting. So we'll see where it goes from there. Okay. Next up, Deadpool 3. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Oh my gosh. Are you guys okay? Is everybody still good to go? Throne was great though. Wait, what? Am I missing something? Throne was great. Oh, Thorn. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, she's good. She's good. I am the Bendu. Right on, man. Are you guys okay? Do we need to take a break for you? Or do you have enough water? Do you have enough coffee? What's going on? So many welcomes. And for the third time subscribing, I get mine. Love you, Josh. Sheesh, big sad. Christian, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. Welcome back, baby. I need a Red Bull. Go get a Red Bull, man. Put it in the AirPod. Get down, kicks on the feet. Head down to the 7-Eleven. Grab one. Man, grab a honey bun too. Honey buns, man. Solid. Get a Red Bull and a honey bun, and we'll keep it moving. Okay. Deadpool to fight TVA. including Mobius and Miss Minutes. Okay, so it's just linking back to the podcast. That's pretty interesting. I really wish we had timestamps, because I might watch that section of the video where Jeff talks about that. Because, okay, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to spoil it for y'all right now. Do you know who's, I think, the main villain of Deadpool 3? The actual main villain of Deadpool 3. Are you ready? Lizzo. 100% it is Lizzo. I can't believe it. By the way, got the banana shirt still on the thing. All right. Anyway, it's Miss Minutes. Miss Minutes is the villain. And I believe, although I'm not 100% sure, I believe Miss Minutes is in the 838 universe. And I believe Miss Minutes is trying to get the 838 Illuminati to take vengeance on the 616. More on that in videos later this week. Roka puts timestamps in his videos? All right, let's check it out. Wait. He puts timestamps in the video. Marvel's anime-inspired Deadpool 3. Okay, let's watch a little bit of this. For the record, this was 4 months ago, guys. I think that's important to note here. This is all really interesting stuff, okay? So 4 months ago. 4 months ago. Jeff Snyder said this.
Is very anime inspired.
Yeah.
And that Nia DaCosta is actually doing a very good job keeping it together
That's the Marvels.
She can, but I've still heard that she's not on the studio's list for the Avengers movies.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But the bigger thing, I don't know, we'll see if this gets confirmed after this. But this is the rumor on the street that Deadpool 3 is Deadpool sort of taking on the TVA.
Wow.
And so as a result, with Deadpool 3, I hear Owen Wilson's Agent Mobius and Tara Strong's Miss Minutes will be in Deadpool 3.
And remember, too, that this was huge when he brought this up. I think the trades confirmed this later that week. And basically fuck you, Jeff, you get none of the credit. But so that's kind of a big deal. Let's see if he expounds on that at all.
But the characters themselves. Wow. Really? But no Loki? Don't
know if Loki's in Deadpool 3, but I've heard that Owen Wilson and Tara Strong are going to be in Deadpool 3. And if you think about it, Owen Wilson and Sean Levy go back a ways, right? They did the Night of the Museum movies together.
That's right. Good point.
It wouldn't shock me if Sean Levy got his old pal Owen Wilson in this movie as Agent Mobius.
Wow. And, of course, Tara Strong is a legendary voiceover actress, having done Harley Quinn for numerous Batman iterations. But, this idea of being with the TVA, you've already got Logan and Wolverine in here. So is that the way they kind of weave Logan and Wolverine into this, is that he's jumping into timelines? Of course, we've had multiverses, but is this jumping into timelines to bring him into this situation and take on the TVA?
Listen, I didn't even watch Loki. I watched an episode or two of it.
What the fuck, Jeff?
Miss Minutes. I don't know what we're talking about, dude.
I don't even know if that's true. He might be deflecting
fine.
there.
Well, I'm excited about it, and we'll see if Kang even shows up in Deadpool 3. That could be really interesting as well, especially if they're going after the TVA. So, all right, what other Marvel news you got?
Now we can move on to Star Wars. So why don't you set up the stuff while I tweet?
Should we just watch this whole episode? I'm kind of into it.
All right, so here we go.
Let's just
Star Wars.
Just watch.
We heard.
No, okay. So way back in the day, one of the first things we ever heard about Deadpool 3 that was significant was that. Okay, so let's take it all the way back to that first bit. Jeff literally says that what he's saying is, or what he's hearing, is the fact that Deadpool 3 is Deadpool versus the TVA. But here's what's interesting about that. As we've just witnessed in the Loki trailer, there are multiple TVAs. And in fact, we have TVA on TVA violence. So what's the deal? What's the deal, right? Okay, next up, Deadline confirmed that Matthew McFadden was cast, and that is interesting because, and let me get the music back on here so that we're not just sitting here like awkwardly, you know. What do I do with my hands, man? What do I... Matthew McFadden's cast later on, Can We Get Some Toast would say that it's going to be Paradox, Agent Paradox. This is right around the time when the 4chan leaks came out. Spoiler alert, I think Can We Get Some Toast is the 4chan leaker. Not entirely accurate, but it did leak out, and then part of that was the fact that Matthew McFadden was playing a TVA agent named Paradox. Okay. Next up, we heard Dopender and Blind Owl actors are returning. Interesting, but not really relevant to like the script or whatever. Jeff Snyder later said Matthew McFadden playing a TVA agent. That's later confirmed to be Paradox. Vanessa and Colossus are returning. This is disputed. This is disputed by some people, but yeah, interesting. And again, the Hollywood trades are pretty accurate, so I don't know. I'm going to say it's probably true. Cosmic Circus begun teasing Ian McKellen, Magneto plus Wanda. Okay, now we need to talk about the fact that I'm pretty damn sure Wanda is in this movie. Okay, you will recall, most of you hardcore Den of Nerds fans, you will recall that I made a video, I want to say 2 weeks ago, where I discussed having heard that Wanda's not actually going to be in this movie, okay? And I think the person that told me that literally lied to me. Literally lied to me. That's kind of what the tea is about. That's what I'm going to talk to you guys about on tomorrow's stream. But suffice it to say for now, pretty sure that's bullshit. Pretty sure that she is in the film, okay? And this was the first sign of a connection between Magneto and the Scarlet Witch being in Deadpool 3. Kind of interesting. But I want to just get on the same page because what's more important than all of that is like, what's actually in the movie? Like, what do we think is actually accurately being reported in the leaks, right? So Cosmic Circus, the first to tease Ian McKellen, Magneto plus Wanda. Also, too, and a lot of you guys probably remember this, too. Do you remember, like, all the scoopers started teasing Magneto? Like, Casey Walsh tweeted about it. Like, a bunch of people started tweeting about Ian McKellen's Magneto, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire. And usually when something comes out in the scooping, leaking community, everybody in that community is, like, hearing about it, right? Rob Delaney is returning as Peter. That's kind of interesting. That's like the guy from X-Force. That was just a regular ass dude. That's kind of funny. Filming under Richmond Street Productions, working title Tidal Wave. And I remember this article talking about the possibility that Tidal Wave was hinting at ultimatum, at Magneto possibly having Thor's hammer, and in this version of 838 being in charge, something like that. I remember this article. I got really excited about it. Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Yukio are returning. That's cool. Halle Berry, Famke Jensen, and James Marsden returning. We've talked about that. I believe we've all talked about that. One villain from both Fox X-Men and MCU will appear. Okay. So I think there's actually several villains. What I think is going on here is this is talking about the Illuminati from 838. Okay? Because I think the main villain of the movie, again, is Miss Minutes. And I think that the Illuminati from 838, which have been changed after what happened in Multiverse of Madness, that Illuminati wants revenge on 616. Okay, I'm not sure how all of this ties together exactly, but I believe that's what's going on. And you're going to get a bunch of the OG X-Men back. We've all been talking about that. We know about that. What is this, though? What is this indicating? And this was also in May, months ago. In May, There are 2 other cast members returning for Deadpool 3. One is from the Fox X-Men movies, and one is from the MCU. They're villains, and you'd never guess who. I'll reveal them in due time because it's far too easy for now. Just have fun speculating. So, yeah. And going into what happened yesterday, Emma Corrin is apparently playing Cassandra Nova. That's a whole other thing. I'm doing a video about that later today, but that's a whole other thing. But I believe Cassandra Nova could possibly be a member of the Illuminati now, which is weird. And I need to like explain thoroughly and discuss and why that's so weird, because she normally would not work with him at all. And it's like, what the hell? Yeah. So kind of crazy there, but yeah, May. Can we get some toast new about this in May? Liev Schreiber is returning. It's very possibly from one of the like flashback sequences where they're going through time. Another report about the film is that they're going to visit different moments in time. Different Fox X-Men movies will be visited in Deadpool 3. Probably where you'll get Liev, if that's even true. Returning Fox villain in Deadpool 3, not Sabretooth. Yeah, so this is probably Magneto. Not 100% sure. Will be the No Way Home of the Fox universe. Yeah, we talked about that. Do a lot of character justice. Talked about that. Features more than 2 Deadpools, so you're going to get a lot of Deadpool variants. You're going to get a lot of Wolverine variants. Deadpool 3 is like Multiverse of Madness, cameos and variants of heroes, plus other stuff. Really interesting. And again, this is Can We Get Some Toast? Talking about the timing of the leak being truly uncanny. I promise my source isn't 4chan. There are some really good guesses in it, though. And this is because, and remember, this blew it all up. Because we were, when this happened, it really seemed like the plot leaks, the 4chan plot leaks, were accurate. And that just, like, broke up in a whole can of worms, right? The Cosmic Circus says 838 Wanda will appear. And again, this was weird because I had a source telling me absolutely not, no Wanda, no 838. And again, that source, I have come to believe that source was lying to me purposefully, which is weird. Wanda 838 appears. Also, Wanda 616 is teased in Agatha. 616 Wanda won't possess 838 Wanda again. Chris Evans appearing in Deadpool 3. Oh, man. This one's interesting. Now, what this probably is him being Johnny Storm from the past Fantastic Four stuff. Okay. However, small outside chance, and I know it's like crazy, but small outside chance that Chris Evans is some evil Hydra Captain America from out in the multiverse. This is like a really old rumor that I've never given up on, and I still think is so awesome. So, either way, kind of interesting. You're going to get Deadpool, or rather, you're going to get Chris Evans back, which is kind of cool. Jean Grey's appearing. That's pretty cool. And apparently she's going to have an epic fight with Wanda. I really hope that's true. And again, I think it is. Channing Tatum already filmed a cameo for Deadpool 3 as Gambit. Pretty interesting. Okay, now, the Deadpool 3 thing is really confusing. And I believe almost everything we talked about before I talked about how all that stuff wasn't real, everything else that we talked about is I think true. And I think that you have the 838 Illuminati. I think you have Wanda. I think you have Logan and Deadpool being recruited by the TVA to stop 838, who's being backed by a different TVA and Miss Minutes. And I think that's generally the crux of the story. What I'm confused about is how does it end? Because one of the plot leaks talks about how they're going to prune all of 838, and I'm like, no. Like, please don't do that. Like, 838 is so cool, and you just build it up with, the post-credit scene in fucking whatever, the Marvels. So, like, what are you doing? Are you setting up the 838, and then Deadpool's just going to kill him? Dude, I'm going to be so pissed if Deadpool 3 just kills the 838 universe, just like they just killed the X-Force in Deadpool 2. Bro, I love the X-Force, and I'm really mad at what they did to the X-Force in Deadpool 3. Oh my God, if they do that for 838, I'm going to shit a brick! So hopefully that's not true. Also, very likely the case that X-Men are coming in to the MCU 616. Technically speaking, I think both the Illuminati from 838 and Miss Minutes want to come into 616. They want to be in 616. Maybe to wreak havoc. Maybe they both are like wanting revenge. I'm not entirely sure, but they want to get into 616. You know who else wants to get into 616? Deadpool. Now, Deadpool is going to want to get into 616 just because he's self-aware, knows about the MCU, and is like, yo, I want to be in the MCU, right? Can't Miss Minutes do whatever she wants? I don't know that we understand exactly the limitations of Miss Minutes. I don't even think we know what Miss Minutes actually is. And I think Deadpool 3 might explain it a little bit more. And to me, one of the big factors here, don't you mean 1999999? No! I know you're just fooling around though. This to me all comes back. Oh, that would be crazy if she was a Cosmic Cube. That would be fun. This all comes back to the end of Loki season 1, where I will remind you that at the very last minute, when they entered the Citadel at the end of time, Miss Minutes confronts Loki and Sylvie, and she tries one last time to get them to turn around. Do you remember? And I'm pretty sure, although my memory is a little fuzzy on this, I'm pretty sure Miss Minutes then goes to recruit Ravonna and take her out of the timeline. Am I right or am I wrong? Yeah. Havoc, welcome to the Nerd Ventures. You are a Nerd Venture now, baby. Yeah. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't fully understand, but I'm really leaning towards it being Miss Minutes, and I'm not exactly sure how it all ties together. I mean, it's timey-wimey, you know what I mean? But I think we'll get some answers in we'll get some answers in Loki. We'll get some answers in, maybe even in the Marvels. Probably not, though. And then we'll get a lot of answers in Deadpool 3. That's what I think's going on, okay? So that's what we have for Deadpool 3. By the way, more recent stuff that has come out is, I believe somebody pretty good said that Jessica Alba is likely Sue Storm from 838 and is likely also now on the Illuminati from 838. Pretty sure that's the thing. So your Illuminati for 838 probably looking like Ian McKellen, Magneto, Jessica Alba, Sue Storm, Emma Corrin as Xavier's sister, I think Mordo still, I think Captain Marvel still, and I'm missing some. Oh, Elektra and Ben Affleck, I think. Daredevil and Elektra will also be on the Illuminati. I'm not 100% sure about this. This is all speculation based on stuff that we've heard. Who's Megan Fox playing? She's playing Lizzo. I know. I wouldn't have taken the role either. It's going to be really weird. I don't know how they're going to work that out. Yeah. So that's what I think's going on. Not 100% sure. More stuff will come out about this. More reports, and we'll get a clearer picture as we go ahead. The other thing to keep in mind is that these things change, and it is absolutely fair to say that we are in the middle of a strike, and like, who knows, man? Like, it depends on how long the strike goes on for. Because, like, there has to be a moment where, like, they have to change things. Where it's not even like they want to change things. It's like, yo, we've got to change things. Because the further Deadpool 3 gets away from us, the worse Marvel's going to be. The worse off they are. Because Echo and the Marvels, I think, are going to be pretty bad and be big blemishes on the brand. And you need to get Deadpool 3 in there as soon as possible to wash out that taste and to get us excited again about what's happening. Loki Season 2 is going to be great. But those other two, I'm not so sure. So we really need to get into it. But it's possible that, like, they have all these ideas, and depending on how long the strike goes on, right? Like, maybe a certain person that was supposed to film a cameo can't, so they got to change it. Maybe they've now signed this person to do that, and they've got to change it. Like, Marvel does change things pretty much right up until the last minute, which is why there are so many, like, leaks and rumors that end up not coming to fruition, even though they come from very reliable people. So we shall see. We shall see. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Daredevil Born Again here. Now, this is kind of interesting. Karen and Foggy are the anchors that keep Matt's humanity together. I can't imagine them at least not being mentioned in the show, although from what I understand, there's might be a good reason for why they're not in it. After all, you'd do anything to protect the ones you love. What do you think that means? Okay. Kingpin running for mayor to target vigilantes. We've talked about that. Foggy Nelson scene filmed. But that's not what he said. They definitely filmed something with Foggy Nelson for Daredevil Born Again. Don't you fucking lie to us about this, dude. This guy seems aggressive. And this is in March. So again, do you remember how I said you've got to watch how these scoopers phrase things, because they sometimes will phrase things in like a purposely vague way? Like when Alex said that there would be a sizable action sequence, and he's talking about, right, Miss Minutes getting big. Doubling down on Foggy returning. Just another confirmation from someone on set. They definitely shot Foggy in Daredevil Born Again. What does that mean? They shot Foggy. They shot him? Interesting. Punisher hunted down by Kingpin. Here's a hint to where we'll see the Punisher story go. New York says no to Punisher. That's kind of cool. Punisher not happy with racist cops using the logo. Nikki James is playing Christian McDuffie. A Muse tease. I think that might be the first villain actually in the first arc. I'm pretty sure this person's going to be the first villain for like the little mini arc they're going to set up. Let's see here. What's this? What's this mean? Foggy and Nelson Murdoch is over, and now they've got a new Murdoch lawyer team? Let's see here. Directing episodes. Kingpin has a Wesley replacement. Hunter Duhan. Fisk bought Avengers Tower, but we know that's not true. So this is actually geeky. Wait, what? So that's not even accurate, dude. That's not even accurate. Ben Urich teased. No mention of Luke Cage or Iron Fist. And I think... think about what I want to say here. I think more stuff will leak out. I mean, they're filming it, or they're not filming it right now, but they were filming it even during the writer's strike. They were filming it, and I think right now it plans to be 9 episodes and then 9 episodes. Okay. Now, one of the things that's like weird about this is like, bro, is this show just gonna piss everybody off? Like, most of us are like really looking forward to Daredevil coming into the MCU, but we've heard a lot of different things about how Marvel basically wants to differentiate their version of the character from the Netflix show, like big time. Okay, apparently, Charlie Cox was like begging Marvel to bring on this one fight coordinator that he used in the Netflix show, and they refused to do it. Right. Apparently, again, and who knows? It's a rumor for now, but apparently they killed off some of those characters off screen for the new one. Also, tonally, it looks to be different. I think Vincent D'Onofrio has talked about this. He said, yeah, it's tonally different. We're doing something different with this show this time. I believe, too, Grace Randolph has teased this out in some of her streams and videos, and she said, I don't know about Daredevil. I'm hearing some weird things. They are definitely making it different than what it was for the Netflix show. So we're going to have to see, man. But my honest opinion on the Daredevil show is like, I need to see more. I need to hear more. But what was once, like when they put that logo onto the screen and they brought Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio out, I was so ecstatic and so hyped up for what the show was going to be. And now, a little bit because of just the quality of Marvel shows in general, but also a little bit because of all the stuff we've started to hear about it, I'm like, I don't know about that shit. You know what I mean? We'll see, of course, but I'm like, ugh, I just don't know about that shit, okay? All right, let's talk about Aubrey Plaza, Coven of Chaos, and all this craziness. Now, the problem with this show is, unless I am mistaken, this is a show that's been in production for like the longest out of all of these shows. At one point, Agatha was taken off the release calendar and literally given a TBD, and I think it's still there as far as TBD, meaning they have no idea when they're actually going to release this show, which feels bad for me because I think that likely means they're ripping out all of the connective tissue that would have been cool to set up certain things. So there were a lot of teases that Aubrey Plaza was going to be playing Mephisto. And at one time, I really believed this. And I still think it's very likely that she's a version of Mephisto, that this Green Witch character is actually just Mephisto. And Mephisto's like playing everybody in the show. You know what I mean? Apparently, Agatha possessed the Darkhold for more than 100 years. That's pretty wild. Another tease by Toast for the Mephisto thing. Very interesting. The real villain, this is coming from Toast, the real villain, my source on set has told me the real villain in Chaos Coven has the ability to appear in multiple different forms. It is said they have many forms, and the one that shows up in the show is just one of them. So, could be Mephisto, but it's interesting because I think Toast has sort of backed off of that these days and is not really teasing that. Cosmic Circus. Billy is a compass of the series. Okay. Ali Ann is playing. Okay. Plaza's character more powerful than the Scarlet Witch. On paper, Aubrey Plaza's character in Coven of Chaos should be stronger than even the Scarlet Witch. And to me, I think one of the only things that makes sense there is she's Mephisto. Plaza's character, according to Daniel, no idea who she's playing. It's such a huge secret my sources couldn't tell me. They only told me she's a big deal to Marvel comic readers, and even non-comic book readers would know that character. That's all I know. Also lines up with Mephisto. Okay, so apparently the main villain is going to be this person, who's one of the Salem 7 who come to Westview seeking revenge against Agatha. Probably a different witch, you know, one like, because we're going to talk about later on, they start to talk about the Green Witch and all that, right? Absolutely no Chthon in the series. Billy and Tommy do not reincarnate. Witch's Road adaptation coming soon. That's kind of interesting. Episode 2 is Coven recruitment episode. Okay. No Demiurge or Mephisto. I don't even know what this is saying. It honestly just looks like terrible fan fiction. No Demiurge or Mephisto monologue in Agatha Coven of Chaos. But here's the thing. Did Toast actually say that Mephisto's not in the show? Oh, damn, I got to pull this down so y'all can see it. Sorry. So, some people took this as Toast saying, no Mephisto in Agatha. But that's not what they said. They said no Demiurge or Mephisto monologue. Tricky. Let's see here. Wanda's death frees Agatha. 616 Wanda will be teased. And the most recent bits on this is that she's going to be the Green Witch, Audrey Plaza, the Green Witch, a very powerful Morgan Le Fay-esque character. That's an original creation. That's also the crazy ex-girlfriend of, or maybe even ex-wife of Agatha, who's probably also Mephisto. Okay. Are we good? Like, how is this? I don't even know how you guys are doing. I feel like we're just going, and it's crazy, and it also feels kind of dangerous, a little risque. I feel really good, but like, what's up with y'all? Like, are you guys okay? Are you checked out? Should we watch another video and react to another video? Should we call it there? Should we just stop the stream? Do you feel like you have a better grasp on what's going on with the leaks and potentially with the leakers? Do you feel like you've got a better grasp of it now? Parker Peters is like, nope. Oh, okay, cool. Still 80% cap? What the fuck? Sounds like a giant boner. I want more. I know I shouldn't. All right, baby, let's go. Captain America, Brave New World. We actually have an updated version of this too. Let me get rid of some of these tweets here because we got another Captain America, Brave New World roundup here. So let's first go over this one, then we'll talk about that one because there's a newer one. What happened to the Quake cameo? Apparently it never existed. Maybe at some point it was something that they were talking about. It got overblown. People started talking about it, but yeah, there was never a Quake cameo. I think there's still probably a good chance that she'll be in the MCU. But yeah. Okay, so one of the first things that was reported was Liv Tyler returning as Betty Ross, which is kind of hype. I mean, I like her as Betty Ross, but beyond that, it shows that, like, bro, like, they're really digging into the Hulk lore of this, right? Like, because Betty's really important to a lot of things that happen in the Hulk comic books, you know, especially around that time of like Red Hulk, Red She-Hulk, you know, all that sort of stuff. Leah Taylor? Who is this? Oh, is this going to be the... Okay, so I believe she'll be in... She's in the movie. We've seen her at the... I'm not saying it's wrong. It's certainly be true of her. More direct past Sam. I think she's just somebody that Sam's going to talk to in the film. Because there was like somebody that was talking to him at the funeral. And I think that's who that character is. I'm not 100% sure on that. Includes ties to the X-Men. This is coming from Jeff again. I think that has to do with, and what we think this is Tiamat Island, the adamantium, and the fact that you're probably going to see the beginning of the Weapon X program or something like that. Jeff Snyder also says Red Hulk is set to appear. Jeff Snyder also says Serpent Society is Val plus 5 others seeking special metal, not vibranium. That is the metal that's on Tiamat Island. And that's also where the Serpent Society are, I think, going to be either stationed or they are tasked to go there and get the adamantium. Yeah, pretty wild, huh? Joaquin gets comic accurate wings and Red Wing bird via Serpent Society. Okay, now what this probably means, guys, is what we think is happening with the Serpent Society in general. And like, yo, lean into this shit. Because this is kind of cool. I think this is kind of cool. In this movie, the Serpent Society they are basically like meta-human, maybe mutant-esque characters that are given what's called biotechnology. I think one of the most recent ones is the character that Roman Reigns is going to play is actually going to have like a grill that spits venom. And it's like mechanical. It's like a biomechanical thing, okay? And so they're kind of like making chimeras. Seth Rollins. What did I say? What did I call him? Did I say Roman Reigns? Seth Rollins. Yeah, my bad. Don't know my wrestling that good, okay? So, point being, it's very likely that, because if you didn't know, like, this Falcon, Torres' Falcon in the comics, actually can communicate to real-ass birds and has actual wings. And so it's likely this person's going to get captured by the Serpent Society and has these powers now. And so, like, bro, like, we're getting really weird in this movie. Like, one of the things that I'm excited for with Captain America 4 is, like, bro, it's getting weird. Like, it's about to get real weird. So they're going to give this dude, like, actual wings and shit, which I just think is so wild. So that's kind of cool. Isaiah Bradley suiting up against the Serpent Society. And, man, I think Falcon and Winter Soldier was a horrible show. But one of the best parts of that show was Lumbly. Without a doubt, the Isaiah Bradley character was fucking awesome. And I feel like we got robbed of Isaiah Bradley not suiting up and kicking some ass, man. That's what I wanted to see. And I think a lot of people wanted to see that as well. So the idea of Sam going to get this dude, because he's like, yo, like, this dude has super soldier serum. Like, this is a crazy fight coming. Like, let's get this dude and let's go there and kick some ass. Bro, let's go. I'm excited for that. New Captain, let's see here. Toast said, my sources from the set of Captain 4 confirmed with me that this new Cap suit is a mix of these. And we've seen that suit now, I think. Still made of vibranium, but keeps the body and boots of the Falcon suit more traditional colors like Steve's suit. Yeah, so I think that actually did leak later on. Diamondback actress spotted on set. This was deleted? Oh, and they pulled the article. So whatever happened there, people were not happy. Okay, hang on. Seth Rollins either playing Cobra or Constrictor. And again, I think it has to do with the biotech that he's going to have, right? New Falcon, bigger role. My source on the set says Joaquin's role is about as big, if not bigger, than Sam's role in Winter Soldier. Yeah, I would say probably bigger, considering he's going to be mutated and shit. Interesting. Tiamat Island is the Serpent Society's home base. Interesting. Very interesting. Murphy's Multiverse, talking about this gal being cast. Okay, so she's one of the Serpent Society. I don't really know much about her, but that's cute. Shalzar is playing the leader. Okay, so now we have it. She's the leader of the Serpent Society. Cool. Now titled Brave New World and written by different folks. Now let's look at the most recent dilly-dally. Okay, so rumors. Val will be in the film. Absolutely agree. She's probably going to be the leader of... She's the villain of the movie. She's the villain of the film, and she's the leader of the Serpent Society. Cap 4 will be mini Avengers, like Civil War. The leader will be practical in Captain America. That's another thing that got leaked out there. I don't know why it wasn't in the first bit that we just talked about. But yes, that's also something that leaked. You're going to get the leader with practical effects, which is pretty cool. Can We Get Some Toast said, Sam is looking to assemble a new team of Avengers to take down President Ross in Captain America Brave New World. Pretty cool. Adamantium is going to be first appear in Brave New World on Tiamat Island, and countries will go to war over it, being an open resource on an unclaimed land that could be more valuable than vibranium. Okay, cool. Tracks with what we've heard. The Serpent Society are the villains in the film, yes, led by Val. Harrison Ford will become Red Hulk in the film, and it won't be kept a secret in marketing. Now, that is pretty hype, bro. I can't wait to see the first images or the first video of Harrison Ford being Red Hulk. And the fact that they're not going to hide it and they're going to be like super upfront with it. Oh, man. When do you think we're getting that? Like, when do you think we're going to be getting that? Post-strike? Well, yeah. Okay, thanks for that. Next summer? Yeah, I mean, that could be a San Diego Comic-Con kind of reveal. That'd be cool. Yeah, next SDCC. First trailer. Ooh. Yeah. Cap 4 sounds way better than Deadpool 3. I mean, I don't know if I agree with that, but I will say I think Captain America 4 sounds dope, bro. Like, this stuff sounds cool to me, so I'm in. Okay, Diamondback will be one of the members of the Serpent Society. Okay. He'll suit up as the new thing. Seth Rollins will be playing Cobra. Torres will use the wingsuit given to him by Sam. He will not have mutant wings. Who said this? Sorry, I had to make a joke about getting mutant bad wings. It's so bad, they're even reversing it in the comics. Serpent Society is going to kidnap him. And yes, he will have telepathic powers. So is this Toast like walking that back? It's probably the case that you'll have both. I hope they still go with the mutant route because I think that's dope. Shira Haas's Sabra will be a CIA agent in Captain America Brave New World. She will not be working for Israel. Yeah, they've changed that as well. Which, like, look, another thing that's kind of weird about this movie is the fact that, like, originally, guys, they had a super shady Israeli, like, intelligence operative, and they were calling the movie, what was the first title? It wasn't Brave New World. It was New World Order. And I'm not even going to draw the connection and conclusion for you, but there's some obvious reasons as to why they have made some changes in this movie. And I'm just like, bro, like, how'd y'all not see that shit? Like, that's crazy, but whatever. No one said Sabra's not a mutant. I think this was Shine, right? My time? Yeah. No one said she's not a mutant, so maybe she's a mutant. Character description for the Thunderbolt, Ross, Red Hulk, Captain America, says former Lieutenant General of the United States and Secretary of State, now President of the United States, using radiation siphoned transforms Ross into the Red Hulk. Holy shit. That's so cool, bro. I can't wait. President Thunderbolt Ross will be the main villain of Captain America Brave New World, with multiple villains making an appearance in the film. Ross, multiple villains, and countries will attempt to claim Tiamat Island and the adamantium for themselves. And I think the truth is, this actually does combine with the Serpent Society. Also, keep in mind, they made a lot of changes to this movie. Originally, I think this movie was going to mostly be about Wakanda and a new, like, war against Wakanda. In fact, do you remember that, like, Grace was saying that around the time of Wakanda Forever coming out? Anybody remember that? What up, Darth Bishop 45? How you doing, bruh? Y'all remember when Grace was talking about that? I just want to, like, I want you to be in it, man. I want you to be in it the way I'm in it. I want you to see all the angles. I want you to see what everybody's saying. I want you to see how it all ties together. I want you to know. Blinking up, my man. Okay. So what I think happened was there was an original version of the movie that focused on Wakanda that was just going to be like U.S. versus Wakanda. And I personally believe Feige like kind of came in and was like, this is all bullshit and not dope enough. President Red Hulk president. Adamantium. And they were like, are you having a seizure, Feige? And he's like, X-Men! Multiverse! Sabra! Like, he just starts, like, saying shit. And the writers are, like, trying to keep up and, like, write it all down. And then they goobly glob mixed it all up. And now you're going to be getting what you're going to be getting. So it's important to keep in mind that this movie's already been through a lot of changes. So we're trying to get the best look we can at what's going on in the film. But things could change. Things have changed. So take it all with a grain of salt. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. The Cosmic Circus says, oh, so she's going to play the love interest. Could be Diamondback and the love interest. Lee's not a big flashy character like Diamondback, but she has a history with Sam Wilson. She can only be a great addition of supporting character or hero. Many thanks to Vin for helping me do some research on the character, providing me with a quick blah, blah, blah. Diamondback, possibly a love interest for Sam. I mean, that's kind of fun. That's kind of a funny little connection there. Casey Walsh says the film will be about super soldier serum and its potential. Followed up to Brave New World is already in development, presumably World War Hulk project. And then Anthony Mack said his butt looks really good in the spandex. So going back to this in the World War Hulk project, I really think that's true. And I definitely think that's what's coming is World War Hulk. And this movie's probably going to set that up. Who knows how that's all going to go down? You know, maybe we'll get some, maybe like Hulk will actually like stop being a puss and like combine back with Savage Hulk and like get Savage again. Maybe it'll be Hulk from a different timeline. It'll actually be like the Maestro or the Maestro that comes in, and fucks everything up. I don't know. Is Sam going to get the serum? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I think that's what Falcon the Winter Soldier was really about. He's not going to do it. But the vibranium suit that he has is apparently going to be pretty good. So it'll allow him to maybe take him out. Let's see here. This is for... Oh, this is Daredevil. Okay. Yeah, so they had even more information about Daredevil. Let's just real quick go over this. After Daredevil, Punisher will get his own show. That'd be cool. Muse will be the antagonist. Bullseye coming back. That's cool. Foggy Nelson scene filmed, but again, we don't know exactly what that means. Muse will be the villain of the first part of Daredevil. Cool. Fisk bought Avengers Tower. I don't think so. Mayor Fisk storyline. Yeah. Oh, yeah. New girlfriend for Matt Murdock. Bernthal's in it. I think that's all we got, man. Yeah, I think that's all pretty much the same shit. Okay. Let's talk some Thunderbolts, man. Let's talk some Thunderbolts. We're going to go Thunderbolts, Blade, Armor War, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man 4. Whew, that might be it. We're getting there. We're getting there. Are you guys okay? Do you guys need to stand up? Do we need to take a little break? Do you need to take a little break for a second? You need to like shake it out. Shake it out. Stretch. Stretch. Dude, I broke my toe over the weekend. I was cleaning the basement, and this is just proof that like I shouldn't be cleaning shit. You know what I mean? So I was cleaning shit in the basement, and I literally dropped like an incredibly heavy box on my toe. Yeah. Yeah, man. But it's actually feeling much better. The swelling's way down. Still can't walk quite right, but like, damn, that shit hurt. ultra weaponized incompetence. Is that like the superlative you won in high school or some shit in your yearbook, Trev? What the fuck are you trying to say? What's going on over here? Okay. Let's get back into it. Everybody shut your mouth. Okay, Thunderbolts. Jeff Snyder originally said that the first script was scrapped, focused too much on Black Widow characters. I believe that. I think what happened was they originally were just going to make it like a Black Widow sequel movie, and they put up that lineup at SDCC, and I'm pretty sure they noticed like most people weren't with it. I thought it was a cool lineup, but to be honest with you, like, it's not that cool, bro. You know what I mean? And this movie, just like Captain America, had so many changes, dude. Just like the original like Feige came into this writer's room right after he had the seizure about Brave New World. He came in here and he was like, "Century, beef," and like was just saying like, and people were like, "Bro, what's going on?" And he just started like yelling shit at them. And so now that movie's changing quite a bit. I think the last time we knew what was going on, this guy, the writer of Beef, which I've never seen that show. It's a show, right? I think it's a show. I've never seen it, but a lot of people are pretty high on it. Apparently, it's pretty good. So this dude, yeah, the creator and showrunner for Netflix's Beef, has taken on the writing duties of Thunderbolts. So basically, Kevin Feige was like, "Yeah, fuck that Black Widow bullshit. Get in here, Beef guy, and beef up my movie." Let's see here. Steven Yeun, 100% playing the Sentry. Pretty cool. I like Steven Yeun. It's interesting because he also has worked on the Beef show with the Beef writer guy, and he's going to beef up the movie. I'm having way too much fun with this. I think it's cool. The Sentry, by the way, going to be created by Val, possibly be created via the Harvest from Secret Invasion, which is interesting. Only unconfirmed member is Sentry. Filming under that production, Variety will connect to Captain America Brave New World. Yeah, absolutely. So what I think's going on, and I wish we had more info on this. Like, it's crazy they don't have more on it. But again, it is being rewritten and recreated. I think when they discover what's going on at Tiamat Island, and there's going to be something that happens in Brave New World that's going to force Val to create the Sentry and then recruit the Thunderbolts. Because remember, she was already recruiting the Thunderbolts via Pew Pew for the Black Widow post-credit scene. So essentially what's going to happen is Val is going to recruit the Thunderbolts plus Sentry, and they're all going to go to Tiamat Island to try to get more of the adamantium. But when he gets to Tiamat Island, he's going to start having the visions of the void and slowly start unraveling as they're on Tiamat Island, and apparently freak out towards the end of the movie. And then basically everybody's got to come shut it down. Like maybe even Red Hulk's also in this movie and shows up to try to stop him. I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, guys, that's kind of dope, right? I mean, that seems pretty cool. Like a Dirty Dozen, or like a almost like the first Suicide Squad, or like The Boys. But they're going there, and then Sentry's there, and he's just like this super powerful, crazy powerful thing, but then he's slowly losing his mind and then becomes insane and unleashes crazy power at the end of the movie or whatever, right? So, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Now, when it comes to Blade, guys, I don't think there's shit to say. I don't think there's anything to really say here. They're still writing it, you know, and they're still like, I think it is going to end up being very different than what it was before. Apparently, Mia Goth is Lilith. That's kind of interesting. Deacon Frost is going to be played by this guy. So this guy's going to be Deacon Frost. Black Knight, not going to be in it anymore. Some people saying never had a big role in it. Not really sure. Okay, now, when it comes to Armor Wars, this is pretty interesting. Justin Hammer's returning. Interesting. Val is the villain. Okay, so let's talk about Val is the villain. What's the deal with Val, bro? Is Val actually Mephisto? Did Feige take... I'm asking you. This is not rhetorical. I'm asking the class. Did Feige take the crazy fan theories about Mephisto being everybody and go with it? What do you think? That's just speculation. I don't know for sure. But what's weird is like, so Val's going to be doing the Thunderbolts. Val's going to be doing the Serpent Society. Val's looking for adamantium. Val creates the Sentry. And yet Val's also the villain of Armor Wars? How's that work? They're not going to shut her shit down after Thunderbolts? What? Like, that's crazy. So I don't really know. I don't know. But Armor Wars is a really interesting question mark. I think especially after Secret Invasion, right? It's like, okay, what's the deal here, man? Because what was the real Rhodey doing? Just literally chilling that whole time? Well, what's he going to do now? So, interesting. Okay. Are you ready to have some fun? Are you ready to have some fun? Let's discuss the wild circus that has been covering the Fantastic Four. When did this come out? March. John Campea be saying this.
Long time we've believed this. Reed Richards and Sue Storm have both been cast and have been cast for a while. I'm not going to say much more beyond that. I will just say that the two are already cast and have been cast for a bit. I think for a long time we've believed this isn't going to be an origin story per se. I think we're going to meet the Fantastic Four a little further along the line. Reports that they're already going to be parents. That makes sense with where my thinking's at. So
yeah, same. The parents thing, I do think, there's buzz on that. And like I said, Franklin, Valeria, very important characters. So that's so weird. John Campea said they've both been cast earlier this year. But like, how could that be true? Do you think it's true? Do you think he was lying? I don't know. Apparently, earlier in the year, it was reported that the Fantastic Four movie gets a new writer with Avatar 2 scribe Josh Friedman. I remember talking about this. They were looking to juice it up, which is kind of interesting. Let's keep that music back on. Pretty interesting. We'll have a lot of cosmic and 60s elements coming from Jeff Snyder. Should we watch what he said here? Let's watch a little bit of this, huh?
Someone mentioned that Chris McKenna and Eric Summers might be working on another Marvel movie, possibly writing the next Spider-Man. I don't know. I have no idea. They also mentioned that Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer's draft of Fantastic Four was fine, but they brought in that new writer to get it to the level that Kevin Feige and Matt Shakman wanted. But Marvel is still open to working with Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer again. Although apparently, Kevin Feige does want to hire more established talent behind the camera, I'm told. I'm also told that Matt Shakman is planning to go very cosmic with his Fantastic Four movie, a lot of 1960s elements, and that the film will feature both Galactus and the Silver Surfer.
All right.
That's pretty well.
I like it.
So we've got the big Star Wars stuff. That's all I have.
Again, going to Star Wars after the Marvel. Now, again, I should mention that was 4 months ago. Kind of interesting. I like I said, I like keeping all of this in context here. Who's saying what, when, are they saying it? Okay. Adam Driver in final talks for Reed. This is according to Daniel. And this also came out in April. Okay. So interesting. Day before April 20th. For reasons that will be obvious to the chat. My Time to Shine. Corroborating Driver as Reed. Corroborating Mila Kunis in the running for Sue. But was she? Let's see. I hear Mila Kunis thing is true. But just talks for now. They are close to casting Sue. Probably next week. Again, misinterpretation here. They're close to casting Sue, but Mila Kunis thing is true. And by the way, Grace talked about that shit too. I remember Grace being like, yeah, this is actually true with Mila Kunis, and they might do it for diversity. And I was just like, what? Like, oh man, do y'all remember when we had those streams where we all freaked out about that, and we had like it was really funny, dude. Look, just like Barbie is an example of how, like, you know, the thinking of get woke, go broke. It's like, no, it's clearly not that simple. There's more to it, and usually that's just like the low hanging fruit thing. Like, just like that happens on the right, it happens on the left too. The diversity hire of Mila Kunis as the thing, the fact that that was even on the table shows you how much like wokeness can actually like it's real, and it does fuck shit up. It's like both sides of the culture war issues like can get really silly. You know what I mean? But this is because humans are humans, in my opinion. But okay. John Campia said Adam Driver's in the running for Reed. But that's curious because earlier in the year he said that they had cast. See what he says.
Particularly, who's going to be Reed Richards? Adam Driver is not only in consideration, but that he may be in final discussions to lock down being Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four. I sent out a note and to somebody who's quasi-connected to the situation, and I asked, is this real? The response I got was simply this: I know he has met with them. I think there is enough possibility here that it's accurate. Would Adam Driver be a good choice to play Reed Richards?
So that's weird, again, because literally earlier in the year he said that they've both been cast and had been cast for some time. Now, that clip we watched could be out of context, so I'm going to give totally a fair shake, as fair as I possibly can shake it. I'll shake it once, twice, 3 times, maybe. But what the fuck does this mean? You know, again, corroborating Reed Richards. Now, according to like the more recent shit that we've been talking about, it seems like Adam Driver passed before the writer's strike. But what we're hearing now is that Marvel badly wants dude. They have a plan to possibly go for more money. Maybe they like let Adam give notes on the script or something. I'm not really sure. They apparently have a strategy to try and get Adam Driver as Reed Richards, which I think would be great. I really do like him as the pick for that. Okay. But let's just, again, we're just going through it all. My Time to Shine. Banderas in talks to play Galactus. Mila Kunis in talks for role, not Sue Storm. Jewish actor considered for Thing, including Mila Kunis. That's fucking bananas. No major role for Doom. That sucks, but it is apparently true. Dr. Doom may be in a post-credit scene for this movie, but that's about it. Daniel RPK says Antonio Banderas offered Galactus role. Daniel RPK says hinting at Kristen Bell as Sue. That's kind of interesting. Cosmic Circus was also hinting at Kristen Bell as Sue. Man. Oh, okay. So this is from somebody else that blocked me or something? I don't know what that means. Jeff Snyder hinting that Jodie Comer was cast as Sue. And I had a buddy that was telling me that he thought Comer was the one forever. She probably would have been good. Paul Mescal offered the role of Johnny Storm. Didn't end up happening from what we know now. Margot Robbie offered the role of Sue. She wanted more money. Didn't end up happening. Debunking Paul Mescal offered the role of Johnny from Deadline. My Time to Shine says Driver all but set as Reed Richards. Corroborating Margot Robbie as Sue. Corroborating Paul Mescal as Johnny. And I remember this tweet too. She was like, here's your... Oh, that's not the right one. She was like, here's your Fantastic Four or whatever. Yeah, I don't really know. But apparently that didn't end up happening either. One Take News, Paul Mescal passed over scheduling. Blue Side of the Moon tease for the Fantastic Four. That's weird. Terrax is one of Galactus's heralds. So this is the dude that played Micro. Help me out here. The guy that played Micro in the Netflix Punisher. He's got a crazy name. I think it's Evan something Bacharach, right? I think that's your Terrax. I think that's your Terrax. And you're going to see Terrax in the Fantastic Four movie. Yeah, that's what I think. Let's keep going here. Filming in January 2024. Not anymore. Driver has been cast as Reed. It's done. Adam Driver is our Reed Richards. But what happened? Like, how can he be Reed Richards if he's not Reed Richards? The fuck? Okay. Cosmic Circus. Corroborating. But what? Daniel says it's a period piece. He only does period stuff. Dante Ferretti is the production designer of Fantastic Four, and he only does period stuff. So that's cool. Probably going to be in the 60s. A lot of the movie's going to be in the 60s. Cosmic Circus says it's in the 60s. Didn't they chart in the 60s? Yeah, I've seen Alex talk about this quite a bit. So he seems to think that line in Multiverse of Madness is directly discussing like the actual Fantastic Four in the MCU. Jeff Snyder says Emma Stone offered Sue first, but fell through due to money dispute. Really interesting. David Diggs in the running for Thing. Mila Kunis out. Antonio Banderas being molded for Galactus. So yeah, it looks like Banderas definitely going to be Galactus. The cat. Okay, so this is the one I remember. I remember this tweet. I remember thinking, that's cool. And now it's gone. Cosmic Circus corroborated it. Yup, says Alex. Well, I don't think it's yup. Driver asked for too much money for Reed. Let's watch this segment. I like that music Roka uses.
Hearing about Fantastic Four rumors, of course, we've heard Adam Driver, we've heard Vanessa Kirby, who is about to be one of the stars in the new Mission Impossible movie. We've heard quite Margot Robbie. We've heard all these names. Jodie Comer being kicked around. Adam Driver seems to be the one that's the solid one so far. But Paul Mescal, David Diggs. What are you hearing now with the Fantastic? What's the update here for Fantastic Four?
I don't know what the fuck is going on with this movie. It sounds like every name that gets rumored gets shot down a few weeks later.
Interesting.
So here's what I understand it to be.
Ooh, here we go.
Picking up the notes.
First of all, the only role that it sounds like is sticking is like David Diggs, I guess.
Really?
If that rumor is in fact true, I don't know. Yeah. But when I asked someone about Fantastic Four, they said, let's see. Like I said, it comes down to money. And so I think Adam Driver may have priced himself out.
Wow.
Priced himself out.
That may have been the situation. He may have just started asking for too much money. I don't know why, because 65 flopped. And quite frankly, that Francis Ford Coppola movie, which is very expensive, is also going to flop.
Yeah.
I don't see any world in which that possibly makes its money back. So
it's so funny because and look, we don't know 100% what's going on here, right? But it seems to me like we're kind of just getting an inside track on what negotiations look like, because it seems like what he's saying, like Driver's asking for too much money. The studio's like, I don't know about this, that, second, and the third. Well, now the flip of this is that they are going to go back to him and they're maybe going to give him that money, right? Like, so weird how it's like all kind of transpired here, but let's keep going.
Why he would turn his back on this if it was in fact his or drive a hard bargain, but maybe he just heard that because that Sue Storm role is sort of seen as the role.
Yeah.
That they want to
It's super interesting. The Sue Storm role is the role. Now, this was before it came out that Sue was going to be the lead in the movie, but it seems like Jeff knew then that Sue was going to be the lead in the movie.
That they're willing to pay for that, but they're not, willing to pay his quote. I don't know. I don't even know what his quote would be at this point.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, maybe he was in when someone else was going to be Sue Storm. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes. And at this point, it's not that, how can I say this tenderly and respectfully? It's not that they're moving down the line in terms of like lower quality. It's more a matter, because Vanessa Kirby is a damn good actress who's been Oscar nominated. And, Grace Randolph has mentioned that she's probably the choice. If she's the choice, maybe Driver wasn't 100% on board with that, but he was much more on board with Margot Robbie, or maybe the initial choices were on board. I mean, him and Comer having been in the last duel, and that really didn't do well. Is that a concern? I don't know. With all of it, it may have been like Emma Stone priced herself out possibly on purpose, and maybe Adam Driver priced himself out possibly on purpose. And I'm not going to let it go that me and you maybe messed this whole thing up by talking about it.
By the way, definitely think that's true. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, I said, I'm finally starting to understand. And the irony that's about to come out of my mouth. I think a couple of weeks ago, I said, I'm finally starting to understand why Kevin Feige hates leaks so much, right? Which is ironic because we're spilling the beans on literally everything that's going on with Marvel in this stream right now. But from their perspective, yeah, dude, Jeff Steiner talking about this definitely fucked it up. And Baba says, why? Well, because number one, once it gets out there into the media, because people were talking about it, dude, it was huge. It blew up all over the place. So once Adam Driver knows that it's out there, that Adam Driver's the top pick, but he's not going to get the money, he can leverage that within the discussions and the negotiations. You see what I mean? And the studio can also be like, I don't know, I don't like it because now that that's out there, we're seeing this reaction, et cetera, we don't like it or whatnot, So the leaks have, I think, definitely fucked this up for Marvel Studios. But, there's also an outside chance here that what's going on with the Fantastic Four is that they're actually casting like a bajillion versions of it. Of Marvel's first family, Council of Kings, multiverse. I'm not really sure, but it's possible that all of this nonsense will make sense once we actually see what they're doing with the movie. But for now, it's like, okay, we're trying to figure out, who's like the Fantastic Four, the actual leads of the movie. And it is interesting though, but I think Roka's right. Like it absolutely screwed it up.
A lot of rumors that maybe we affected the casting and we are in trouble, maybe possibly.
I refuse to believe that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The other, let me tell you, and someone
are they going to go to
reached
Star Wars
out to
after
me
this?
And floated this possibility that they've been hearing that if Adam Driver doesn't commit to this, and again, this is not sourced or vetted or anything, that Joel Kinnaman is apparently in the mix. Do you
Joel
think?
Kinnaman?
I think that's such a not a good choice. Not because Joel isn't a good actor.
Kinnaman?
Joel doesn't put butts in seats. So if it's a Joel Kinnaman, Vanessa Kirby, Daveed Diggs, Paul Mescal, are you maybe a little more curious than you would have been if it was Adam Driver, or does that not quite move the needle for you?
First of all, I love Joel Kinnaman. I'm like the number one Joel Kinnaman fan on the planet.
Really?
Fair enough.
Okay.
I've watched Joel Kinnaman movies the last 2 nights.
What?
Shut the fuck up. Wow.
What the fuck?
Okay.
It's the same movie I watched twice.
What, is it a porn movie? No, what was the movie?
It's his new Nick Cage movie, Sympathy for the Devil, which I'm under embargo. I can't talk about it, but I watched it a second time, which should say everything.
All right.
No, Joel Kinnaman is not replaced. It's not going to be Mr.
Right?
Fantastic.
Like, come on, dude. Like, what are we talking about?
Absurd.
Yeah, that's
I don't
crazy.
know. I mean, a lot of people keep saying, like, why wouldn't you try to chase Gyllenhaal? But I guess if you can't afford Driver, then how are you going to get
Gyllenhaal's already in the
Gyllenhaal
MCU.
should cost more than him.
But I don't understand that because you look at their box offices and like they're not that strong overall, So how are they demanding?
Who has a strong box office? Who would be appropriate for that role?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Not many people.
Probably not.
Well, I guess you're right. Do they default back to Krasinski and Blunt after all of this? Do you think they go all the way back down? Not down in terms of quality, but just back to square one. What pleasing the internet, as David Cornsweat please the internet for Superman fans, do they end up defaulting back to Krasinski and Blunt and paying them whatever they ask?
I mean, it's a distinct possibility.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
That's the way you get people back on board
nuts,
is
dude?
you go back.
Wouldn't that be so crazy? We just it's Krasinski, because I know some of you guys are like, it's Krasinski, and it's been Krasinski the whole time. Like, some of you guys still believe that. I don't think that's true, but it's possible that that's what we end up with. That would be nuts, man. Somebody says this is a really old video. It's a month old, yes, but that's because we're going over all of the different updates for all of the different Marvel projects. So this was current when it was reported. Let's see if there's anything else that they talked about.
To the fan cast, the original fan cast that everybody was on board with. Yes, so you smooth things over. Maybe you adjust it that they've been around a little bit longer because both of them are a little older in their mid to later 30s. And so it could work. And then fans might be a little more excited for Fantastic Four in this way, possibly. I don't know. Throwing it out there.
I don't know. I just know that Snyder must really like those
Let's take
Doritos.
a quick break, and then we'll hit some of your super chats.
All right, cool. Okay. Driver asked for too much money. Yeah, Daniel says drama with the casting. Not locked at all. A lot of drama here. Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, we know that. Driver asked for too much money for Reed. Now this
is over. Maybe you adjust it.
Okay, that's what we just watched. That's what we just watched. Okay. Vanessa Kirby offered the role of Sue. Vanessa Kirby is Sue. Okay, so that takes us all the way back to last week where we talked about all of the news, which again, the interesting thing to note here is that Jack Quaid is apparently in the Fantastic Four. It seems like Snyder knew he was attached or was going to be in the film because he got JQ, which stood for Joseph Quinn, confused with Jack Quaid. So Jack Quaid in Fantastic Four, rumored, presumably, maybe in a role that like nobody's talking about, something that's undisclosed. And the current status of this is that the only person that's locked is Vanessa. She apparently signed before the writer's strike was out. Apparently an offer went out to Joseph Quinn before the strike. They're going to go back to Driver when the strikes are done. And a fat white guy is playing the Thing. So that is pretty much where we're at with DOS Fantastic Four. Okay. Okay. You got to finally watch the hot. I usually do try to watch the hot mic, or at least pick up, the highlights or talk about the scoops and everything like that. Okay. Next, we got to talk about Spider-Man 4. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. Tom Holland, masked for the most of the film. Personal life takes a back seat temporarily. That's pretty interesting. When was this dropped? You'd be surprised. What the hell? How do we go from that to this? Okay, well, I don't understand that one. Kingpin, Mr. Negative, Kraven, and Scorpion are villains, according to the Cosmic Circus. Why not all of them? Kind of teasing it out that you're going to see them. Sinister Six-esque Spider-Man 4 shares similarities with John Wick 4. John Wick 4 vibes. Given what I've heard about the story so far, Parabellum seems to be the film that has more things in common at the moment. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if this has to do with Kingpin setting up some kind of sanctuary for assassins or something like that. I'm not really sure, but that's kind of interesting. Announcement before SDCC if Sony has no panel. That, of course, did not end up happening. Releases before Kang Dynasty. Donald Glover is returning. And I think a lot of the buzz around Spider-Man 4 is that it's going to be very street level. I know I had talked about the possibility of Tobey Maguire coming in, and maybe that's true. But again, I think that source is no good now and that they were lying to me about stuff. So, which I'm going to explain tomorrow. So I don't actually think the Tobey Maguire stuff is true. Everything we were on track for before that with Spider-Man 4, I still think is accurate. So that's kind of where it is. As far as Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, all we have updated here is that Kang Dynasty, apparently Jeff Loveness will not be writing it, and apparently he departed before the strike, which is interesting. The other things I'll tell you about Kang Dynasty is My Time to Shine said that Tom Holland will be the lead of the movie. I think it's going to have a team of Avengers. I think they're going to be fighting against the Kang Dynasty. I think ultimately that movie will end with the multiverse being destroyed. It's possible that the 838 also shows up in the Kang Dynasty, which would be sick. Because if the Deadpool 3 stuff is true and Miss Minutes is working with 838 and trying to, like, all bets are off. It's getting bananas. So that's kind of what we know about that. Now, this is pretty interesting, man. Avengers Secret War. Secret War movies, plural. Did I stutter? Coming from Alex P. Now, this is my favorite. This is one of my favorite rumors about Secret Wars, is that it's actually going to be multiple movies, and you may actually get a Battle World phase in between the two Secret Wars. And that is discussed on this podcast here by the Cosmic Circus. It's a great podcast, actually. Let's see. Alex says that Spider people are being brought in for Secret Wars. Okay, so at 5410. Why is this not playing? Let's see if we can get to it. What the actual fuck is happening here? Okay, well, we might... Wait. What? That's 49. What was that again? 54. Play. This is stupid as fuck, bro. I don't know what this embed player is, but it's absolute shit. It is absolute shit. Why? Can we get to 50? Oh, you know what? That's good enough.
That would be it. And at the same time, I could believe it because Lila knows about the sacred timeline and she acts in the exact same way that Miss Minutes would. And she even has the same coloring. Bro, that would be like, that's a crackhead theory. I don't think it's going to happen. But that would be like the most
crackpot theory,
insane way to connect Beyond the Spider-Verse to, like, because that's a thing. I have heard from my sources, confirmation here. I've heard from my sources, they're gonna bring in some Spider-Verse characters, not all. I don't know which ones they are. I'm going to assume Miles Morales, but they're gonna bring Spider-Verse characters in for Secret Wars, which is, and this is also part of the reason why someone asked me this on Twitter and I didn't answer them right away because I thought it would be right for me to answer it here. Yes, there is conversations about making Secret Wars a two-parter, and not just making Secret Wars a two-parter, but having a Battle World phase, like a phase that's just dedicated to alternate universe projects. And like between one film and the other, because there's just so much Marvel wants to do with the multiverse, with cameos, with other projects, with other universes, that we are not going to have enough time for us to get a concise story with all of these characters in just Secret Wars. Because Kang Dynasty doesn't even delve into the multiverse variants. It just goes with like the MCU characters and it deals with the different Kangs, but we don't get any MCU variants. We don't get Spider-Verse variants. We don't get Daredevil variants, or not confirming that there's Daredevil variants in the works or anything. I'm just like shooting off the top of my head, but there's no variants of the characters
and
that we know.
Knew that
we just
then.
Get the 616 MCU characters in Kang Dynasty, and then somehow we're supposed to delve into Secret Wars and have these MCU characters interact with their own variants from different universes. Some are new, some are old, some are characters that people have known for years. Others are just fun variations of the characters that are just going to show up. And we're somehow supposed to do this in one movie. There's no way. There's literally no way. And I've heard that they're going to divide Secret Wars into two things, and that there's a potential idea to make an entire phase dedicated to a battle world thing where they just go into different universes and like make it a very big version of What If. But like it's so early, and the bad thing about it is I can't even give you an updated version of this because this is old. Because this is old information that I can't update you on until the writer's strike is done. Because until the writers at this moment essentially control the playing field with everything. Because they control productions, because they can go to strike, they can do strikes, they can go to rallies, and they can pause production and delay productions. Pre-production wise, all the stories are stopped. They can't do anything because they can't write, because writers can't write, and it's a very complicated situation where literally everything has been paused until the writer's strike is done. And like these ideas can't be fully developed until the writer's strike is completed.
That's fair.
So
that's
to
true.
The people that have to be in charge of these conversations, I'm literally sidelining this. I'm literally sidelining a Spider-Verse conversation to talk about the writer's strike. But, give these people what they want. They are the people responsible for making these productions work, not just directors.
Yeah, so there you have it, guys. The my favorite rumor about the MCU, the Battle World Saga, and the possibility of breaking Secret Wars up into two parts and of having an entire saga of, or in like maybe a year of several different projects that all take place via the multiverse. I mean, that would be awesome. So that's kind of like my favorite rumor. The other thing that we know about this movie, I mean, apparently, and this is according to Paul, I believe, from Heavy Spoilers, apparently the Kang from Quantumania, that character who we see get sucked into the crystal vortex thing at the end, that character is going to return with the powers of the Beyonder. So Beyonder Kang is going to be the main villain of Secret Wars, possibly both films, and you're going to see the characters from the Kang Dynasty go into other movies and recruit people from the multiverse, from like the Fox X-Men movies, the Fantastic Four, maybe Daredevil, etc. And they're going to bring them in to try to fight against the Beyonder Kang. No Doom at all? From what I understand, no. I mean, unless they have some super secret plan with Doom for the MCU, no, I don't think so. I don't think you're going to get Doom until after Secret Wars, which is a shame. Maybe he'll do something cool on Secret Wars. I don't know. But yeah, pretty cool. So that's my favorite. That's my favorite rumor. All right, guys. That's going to do it. That's going to do it for the big old stream going over all of Kevin Feige's secrets. I hope you're not mad at me, Kevin. Oh, there goes the battery. Good timing. It's good timing. Yeah. I think I'm going to start going through these super chats, okay? And then maybe I'll be able to put the camera back on for the very end of the stream. But hey, we made it. We made it, okay? So I'm going to speed run through these different chats and everything, yeah. Peyton Moore, happy Monday, y'all. Let's get this bread. Hell yeah, baby. Mr. JB says, I called out of work today because I'm half a century old today. Ah, damn. Happy birthday, brother. Get some happy birthday love in the chat from Mr. JB, too. XA says, haven't made a stream in like 2 months. What's been going on? Oh, bro, so much has been going on. I felt like today was, I mean, I don't know how y'all feel, but I felt like it was a pretty good stream. I feel like we had a pretty good stream. Bismo says, man, time flies. Been lifing a bit, trying to stay in touch when I can. Prepare to finally get back to university next month. Hope all is well. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. The Ellis Marcus, the 10 spot, says, I'm a truck driver currently rolling through the abyss of Nebraska and never-ending cornfields. Your takes and insights keep me sane. Great content. Love the shenanigans. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Roby Ruse, welcome to the Nerd Avengers. Mariana, $10 holla, says, Josh, did you see on Twitter that Gina teased she might sue Disney and Lucasfilm over her firing? Elon Musk says he'll pay legal bills to those punished unfairly by jobs for liking stuff on Twitter. Thoughts? Yeah, I mean, look, I actually think that's awesome that Elon is doing that. And I also think it's awesome that, because look, I think she was unfairly fired. The problem is, I think, didn't she do that on Instagram? Wasn't it an Instagram post that was the big issue there? I'm not really sure. I don't know how that would legally work. So, look, I wish all parties in that situation well. I just don't know how that would work. Greek Drummer says, yo, brother, I loved the Diamond Lounge stream the other night. Absolute blinker, alien madness. Much love, Nerd Adventure for Life. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. And yeah, I went down the rabbit hole myself of Hollow Earth, Denver Airport. Wow. Crazy shit out there. Xavier, welcome. Andrew, welcome. Jake, welcome. Jesse Price, welcome. I am the Druid, welcome. Quartz Quantum, welcome. Schmeagle Blop, welcome. Bubba B, welcome back. Kirby Legs, welcome. Jala says Rahul Cooley is perfect for Reed, plus looks good with Vanessa Kirby. I like Rahul Cooley, but we haven't heard him attached to it at all. Porter Stanley, welcome. Chris Listenfeld says TVA on TVA sounds hot. Amen. Marcus Thompson, welcome. Christian Jensen, welcome. Thunder Khajiit, welcome. Elliot Harris, welcome. I am cute, you're mad, welcome. Matei says, can't wait for Haley Steinfeld to be the best part of the Marvel project again. It's been too long. Okay. Captain Zeit says, talking leaks made Josh have to go take a leak. That's true. Bradley Rollins says 29 months of Nerd Vengeance. Love you, Josh, and the rest of you filthy animals. Echo's gonna be cheese dick. Probably. Jensen Baker says, how soon after finishing would you delete? I can't finish the stream while live and get back to them 4 hours later. Yeah, no, bro. I'm sorry. I'm gonna delete it. Swift Sam, welcome. Jedi Mike says, I am the Bendu. Havoc, welcome. Rosie says, is Miss Minutes from the comics? No. Neon Hum says, what's the multiverse phase plot? I'm so lost with all these shows and movies coming out. Infinity Saga was much cleaner. 6 p.m. Diamond Lounge, No Adventures for Life. We had it at 7 on Friday, bro. Zoe the Goat says, please leave this meme stream up for at least an hour after. I have to take my son to orientation at 11 tomorrow, and I don't want to miss the stream. Maybe I'll just make it later at night. I don't know. We'll see. Mon Arc, welcome. Joey Ebb says, phenomenal stream today, bro. Needed this on my day off. Take my money. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. I had a good time. I'm glad you did too. Dirt Wizard says, I'm loving these long streams, especially on a Monday morning. Gives me something to do. Nerd Ventures for Life. Take my money. There you go. Tony Stark says, Josh, was good. Do you see Voss talking about Galactus eating Earth to reset the MCU? Thoughts? Shame he's so great at breakdown, but utterly cringe. Show Babu. I'm showing Babu right now. You can't see it. And also, yeah, I did see that video. I was actually going to react to it, but I didn't expect to stream for 3 hours going over all these leaks. But hey, it is what it is. Mikkel, welcome back. And then you said, awesome stream, Josh. Going to college next Thursday, and man, I'm nervous AF, but excited too. It's weird, but thank you for everything you do. Much love. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right, let's see if I can turn the freaking camera back on for at least a little bit so I can say goodbye. Let's see if we can get this going on here. Hey! Hey! Nerd Theory, I believe so. I haven't heard from Theory today at all, though. So I think so, but, you know, we'll see. All right, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Thank you guys for being here. Super secretive tea spilling stream tomorrow for the Nerd Vengers. Maybe I should do it later at night, though. I don't know. We'll talk about that on the Discord. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. I'll see you all real soon. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh, man. That was a good stream right there. Nice and juicy. Stuffed to the brim! And I hope you enjoyed it. Hope we're all on the same page now. Yeah. All right, everybody. Make sure you open up that third eye. And watch out. There goes the camera. Watch out your stinky bum. I'll see you.